All right, we're live. Hopefully we're actually live. Hat looks wonky here. Jeez. We got the reverse cam here. Let's see. Oh God. Welcome in. Welcome in. Praying we're actually live here. I think we are. So welcome in. For all of those who are just tuning in on the replay. This should be a good stream, one that actually works now. I'm going solo. We, for the life of us, cannot figure anything out as everything's bugging out. Zoom, I don't know. I'm starting to begin to think it's just something with my computer. This will be a good test, though, if we can just stream fine here. So, yeah, shouldn't be an issue, hopefully now. Let me know if there is. But, hey, we're on to week 16. Let's just talk some ball now. Dan, don't know if you'll be in the chat or not. If so, feel free to chime in. But yeah, I mean, let's talk about. Yeah, we'll quickly review over Thursday. We were trying to do that yesterday when we streamed, but couldn't really. I mean, Thursday was just an insane football game. I mean, they were basically just pounding the rock to start the game. I think the Rams started with like 7 rushes to 1 pass. That second half, something must have changed, and it turned into like game of the year. That was an insane game. Hopefully, he didn't run against too many Pukas or Staffords in that game. K9, hopefully, he didn't run against a K9. That would be tragic. There's just no way I was going to play him, or probably a lot of people were going to play him. Ended up being an awesome game. Crazy that we got rug pulled on Colby Parkinson with no Devontae Adams in a game where Stafford is just slinging it for whatever 300-plus yards. What an awesome fantasy game, though. Won't complain. And then today, we had that Eagles-Commanders game. Bit of a crap show, but at least Devontae Smith had a solid game. A.J. Brown had a solid game. Yeah, I mean, actually basically every Eagle got it done. Yeah, every Eagle got it done today. So that's good. And the Commanders, you just can't start them now. Yeah, if Mariota's done, bench your Commanders rest of the season. Yeah, hopefully he didn't start McLaurin or anything. I'm sure a lot of people did, of course, because he was a good start. And then we just had the Packers-Bears, which, again, was just a terrible, terrible game for fantasy and pretty much real life. Again, until the last 2 minutes. Packers absolutely fumbled it. Seb, if you're in here, sorry about that. Told you to check in Listener League. You sure did. What a crazy game. I mean, the Bears were just negligent in their field goal unit. They milked like 30-something seconds trying to kick that field goal, and then they got completely bailed out. Caleb and DJ Moore owners are the biggest Romeo Dobbs fans right now, because I don't know what he was doing on that onside kick, but he absolutely choked. I think Dontavian Wicks, Mr. Brickhands, could have had a better attempt at that. But yeah, it ended up being actually an entertaining game, to say the least there at the end. Yeah, sucks playing Caleb Williams. Like, he should have had a terrible game. Actually ended up having a good fantasy outing. That's fantasy for you. But yeah, luckily didn't run into any DJ Moores. Thankful for that. That would have been just disastrous. What was he at? He must have been at like 7 fantasy points before that last 2 minutes. He scored all his points in the end. But that's a recap on the 3 games played so far. Again, you might be really far down or really far up in a matchup. It's certainly possible with those Rams. Again, with kind of K9 looming as well. Now you got Caleb Williams and DJ Moore with awesome performances at the end of the day there as well. Yeah, I mean, there could be a lot of important lineup decisions going into tonight or into tomorrow morning. And I mean, I've been looking at some myself. One popular one, Dan and I have both kind of this start sit we've had to decide from, but one for me is like Purdy or Dak, because I'm going to rock Brissett stacked with McBride, stacked with Michael Wilson as well. I feel like Purdy is the better play slightly this week. And I'm actually playing him, against Dan in a matchup, and Dan has Kittle. So, I don't know. I think I'm going to leave Purdy in there. I have CMC, which makes it interesting. Again, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Maybe if they can get some work done in the air, CMC, that would be awesome. Sonny says the Bears are a scam. Let's not sit here and pretend they're good. No, they are a scam. They are, like, KO Kingdom. I'm sorry, they're a scam. They're the 2022 Vikings, is what they are. Yeah. I mean, if you saw them in playoffs, like, it's crazy. The Bears were like actual betting favorites this game. If I was a betting man, I would absolutely have taken the Packers money line. They lost. They should have won that game. No doubt about that. Welcome in, Tyler. Says Fairborn or Aubrey. You're up 48. Gonna be honest, man. I don't even play I haven't even played in the league with a kicker in 2 years. I think Dan plays with kickers, so I'm just Fairbairn. Here's the thing. I know Fairbairn is money. But so is Aubrey. Who's been better? Who's been better this year? You can always result on that. I'm sorry I can't help anymore. I know Fairbairn is like the GOAT fantasy kicker the last few years. Dan's always mentioning that when we get questions, and I think he's hitting records of like 50 plus yarders. So, I mean, at least you have really good options, and you're up 48. Hopefully, the decision doesn't matter. Rock whoever you've been rocking or whoever's better. Let's get it. Welcome. Hey, I think you're in here last night. Absolute disaster. Again, we're having a disaster tonight, but we got it fixed. At least going solo. So, should be good to stream tonight. Don't know how long I'll go, but people are in the chat and whatnot. I'll keep rolling. I just finished my last exam, so I got no responsibilities for the next week here. So trying to live a life here and have some do some shopping. I've just been kind of locked up studying for the last 10 days or 2 weeks actually. That's kind of where I've been at. So let's get it. How about you? And you say you had the Eagles D, Kyron. He had Hurts and JSN. Okay. I mean, median outcomes from both those guys. So you had Eagles D and Kyron. What did the Eagles D end up scoring? Again, I don't have the Eagles D anywhere. I didn't see what they ended up scoring. Probably pretty decent. And you had Kyron. Yeah, bit of a disappointment there. And you say, not sure about this one. You might be done. You still have Gibbs, Hendy, Purdy, Bowers, them guys. Yeah, and he's got some hard hitters. Is this the team, let's get it, where you traded Pickens for Henderson? And I don't know, did you end up getting Dobbs or Franklin on the team? Is this the team? Because you're always asking about those receivers, those gross receivers. I wonder if that's that same team, because I know you were on a run there, and we told you to do the Pickens for Henderson and the receiver deal, which has actually been aging pretty well, which is I'm glad to see. Jacob, you say you have a few semi-complex start sits. You can type them out, put them in the Discord. The character length is long enough for the full comment. You could just cut it, put it in the YouTube. It'll be much easier for me. Put it in the chat. If it's too long, just like cut it in half, and I'll be able to just read them together. Michael, we're back on. Dan is here. He's not actually in the stream. It's inexplicable right now. I have no idea what's going on. We're just like on. We were trying a Zoom alternative, still was lagging. So. Yeah, and I have no issue now streaming solo. We had no issues on Zoom on the phone. Something's up, so we'll try to get on that, get it fixed. We only had a day since we tried popping up a stream out of nowhere last night. Michael, you said you were watching the replay. It was a disaster, like just undoable, lagging all the time. So I'm just glad we can actually stream it with no lag right now. This is awesome. And let's get you say, good stuff. Phil's going to be done with the final. Yeah, absolutely. It was one of those ones, man. Like, if I don't know, if you went through school already or you're going to school or if you maybe you didn't go, let's get it. I was doing one it's just like an ancient Greek, it's like a classical class. These are the worst exams in history. If you've done them, you have to write, and this is like my biggest weakness. You have to write like a full essay during the exam on top of answering all these questions, all these, whatever definitions and all these things. And then you also have to write like a mini essay on another question. My hand, like I don't write, I use like an Apple Pencil and an iPad for all my notes. My hand was like full of lead, like right here when I was done, and it was like red. Like just my hand was like sore. I hadn't written anything with an actual pencil in forever. Especially I must have wrote like at least, it felt like 1,500 words today in a couple hours. So I'm, to say the least, I'm pretty happy to be done, as you can imagine. So yeah, Michael. Yeah, at least I'm here. Dan might go live after, by the way. Dan is wanting to stream. We just can't do it together. So, I mean, if you guys want a late stream, if things are going well, Dan can always potentially jump on and just kind of, we'll be down for a minute. He could jump back on and stream if you guys want to see that. He may or may not be in chat right now as is. I'm sure he'll jump in. And you said, you said, yeah, that's the pickings for Henderson and Dobbs. No, and you dropped Dobbs. Okay. Yeah, I mean, fair enough. You got AD Mitchell, who's actually, I'm starting him in a redraft league, sadly. And I'm starting him alongside Pickens. I have no receivers in that league. I have a phenomenal team, though. But that sucks because Dobbs had a good week. I wouldn't have started him, but anyways. But I'm glad that Henderson that paid off. And let's get it. What did you start last week? I was trying to ask you that last night. I remember you had all the questions. We told you Woody Marks. Obviously, he got hurt, but that would have been a freaking awesome game by Woody Marks. Heisenberg here, but not in the live stream. Yeah, we'll get that fixed. And yeah, Jacob, did stream crash? We're alive. I'm alive right now. Okay, you said never mind. Okay, perfect. You did graduate. You know how that is. Yeah, brutal when you got to write, especially an essay and a mini essay on an exam. I hate that. Just let me answer 100 multiple choice or something. Although I will say those multiple choice can be tricky. It actually is generally better to be like answering the short answer questions and stuff. But it's just like way more brain power and like effort and but I'd rather just be clicking off A, B, C, or D. And Tyler, you were saying you need Baker to be his choke artist self. What are the odds? I mean, good matchup. I know Baker's been bad. I'd be scared if that's what you need. He's got all his weapons back. And I know Jacob's in chat here. Again, we've always been talking about Ibuka. I could be wrong in this because I forget if he had a higher route participation than Godwin. He had less route participation this week than Mike Evans and Jalen McMillan, which is super concerning, which is also why I didn't draft him in the offseason because I was just kind of terrified about Jalen McMillan being a thing or just eating up routes. That aged terribly, at least at the time. So maybe my original theory is actually being justified. I guess we'll see here. Ibuka is one of the strangest players in all of fantasy. I'd be terrified to start him, as sad as it is. But Baker, that's tough. I wish you the best. I don't think I have any Bakers alive, so let's root against Baker. Let's get it. You said you started BGJ and Myers and Hendy and Marks, and you benched Kyron. Okay, so that was the big I don't know. That was the big thing. Like for the stream last week was Henderson versus Kyron, and I feel like the logic paid off, right? I mean, maybe you can even tell you why you ended up going with the Henderson versus Kyron. But I just felt as if Kyron actually had a good game, but his usage, again, he was only at a 57% rush share. But he got to punch in 2. And then again, you see this week, he actually had better usage. He projected out better this week, but he only had what was it? 11 points this week. So yeah, kind of my point with Kyron is just he's not the Kyron of old where you're going to get those 30 carries and all the work out of the backfield receiving. In fact, his target share has been terrible. He's still a solid start. Again, I'm trying not like he's just not the old Kyron. It's kind of my point, and that's why I thought Henderson was just a far better start because he can score 30 points. I didn't know he was going to score 30 points. You had to play him just in case, right? It could really tilt your matchup, and so I'm very glad that we're frozen for a second here. Okay, we're back. Okay, here's a crazy stat for you. Between 1 second, my dog. I just realized I don't even need my headset on. Take that off. Here's a crazy stat between this Rams backfield, and this is just kind of been my point with Kyron. Again, you're going to start him in most leagues, but when you have to bench Woody Marks last week or Henderson, you want to, of course, again consider benching Kyron. But who has more fantasy points across the last month? And the last month, the notable thing there is that's when Kyron got banged up, and that's when they said Blake Corum would be used more. And sure enough, Blake Corum has more fantasy points in the last month than Kyron Williams does. Like, that is insane. Blake Corum has been playing absolutely balling. So that's kind of been my thing. So, like, I'm just putting warning out there. I know Kyron's already played this week, but if you have good options like Henderson, like really high upside plays, that's kind of how I've been leaning as of late. Again, most of you are just starting Kyron anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But Blake Corum's like a legit starter right now. He's getting like a 40 to 50% rush share, and he's just scoring touchdowns. He's playing awesome. He's like literally one of the best rushing yards over expected player right now. He just passes the eye test too. So really concerning stuff for like dynasty Kyron, like really concerning. Blake Corum would be like a really priority ad. Anyways, enough of like talking about the Rams backfield, but again, I have not heard that talked about. So that's kind of where I was on last week. So yeah, Smitty, welcome. Hey, we came back. Hey, we came through for you, Smitty. Good to hear. So you said back again, PPR league, Ladd or Marvin Harrison Jr. Knox or Strange. Let us know. What did we get? Come through for you, Smitty. Again, I remember, your name. I just don't remember what we had answered for you. And I'm gonna be. Do we have any other options other than Ladd and Marvin? Like, seriously, do we have any other options? That my answer is going to be easily Ladd. If so, Marvin Harrison. There is a report out right now on him. I don't know if you saw it. He is going to play. However, it doesn't matter if he ends up finding the end zone or having a big play. It's not worth the risk when you have a guy like Ladd, who himself is not even a guy I want to like necessarily start at all. But Marvin Harrison is going to be eased in, they're saying. He's already hurt. He left his last game with injury. I would say you just like cannot start Marvin Harrison unless the line would be like so bad, like the waiver wire, right? That you just are hoping for a big play. So I would express extreme caution with Marvin Harrison. I don't think that's a bold take at all. I think most would agree with that. So technically Ladd is the answer. Again, I cannot guarantee you Ladd does anything this game. Luckily, Dallas is a terrible defense, so you just never know. Let me know if there's any other options, Smitty, please. Knox or Strange? Where are we at on Kincaid? Is he alive? I'll look this up here. The last I heard, Kincaid, was not practicing. That is going to be the question. And also, Smitty, make sure you're subbed if we came through for you. I'm glad we did. Okay, Kincaid's gonna play. So, yeah, I mean, I know he played last week. Again, is there any other options? Do you have is Mike Gesicki available? I would play Mike Gesicki probably above both these guys, just off pure upside, especially if Higgins was out. Noah Fant's going to be out this game, so I think Gesicki's just there's at least a ceiling with Mike Gesicki. I know Knox is at a couple games. If it's between Knox and Kincaid is playing, you got to go Strange. Again, I know that Knox has randomly scored with the banged up Kincaid. I'd play Strange personally, so not great options. If there's something on the waiver wire, let me know. Smitty again. Let me know for both the wide receivers and the tight end there. Those are just tough starts. Both like even your better option is just not phenomenal. Tyler Perry. You said Baker plays the 8th worst matchup for QBs. That's interesting. I didn't know that Carolina was that bad of a matchup for QBs. Like I normally associate them with just trash. So that's good to know. I know their run D. Or sorry. I know that Tampa is like a good matchup for run D. Like Rico Dowdle's an interesting play this week. I'm sure we'll get some questions about him this week. And we got Ray Gamer in here. Jefferson or Ibuka non-PPR. Hey, it's been bad with Jefferson. Again, I was talking just a few moments before you joined. Ibuka was, I wish I had the stat up. He was behind Jalen McMillan, though, in target and route participation for sure. So I've been believing in just firing up Ibuka over questionable options. You got to fire up Jefferson for him. And if you watch that game, the fact that Jefferson left that game without 20 fantasy points was just like insane. I mean, you couldn't even, it was just hilarious. Touchdown called back, touchdown dropped, a big play dropped. So got to rock Jefferson. Great matchup, by the way. Phenomenal matchup. That's just a no-brainer for me. If Jefferson duds out, what can you do? And you also said Burrow or Lamar in 6-point passing touchdowns. And big play bonus. Yeah, look, Lamar, when you have two good options like that, it's 6-point passing touchdown. You got to go Burrow. You got to go Burrow personally. If Lamar has really shown us like any ceiling since this injury, I'd roll with him. He just hasn't been showing. At least Burrow has put up a big game in the last couple of weeks. I think you got to roll Burrow, especially if Higgins is back. I mean, everyone in that Ravens offense is getting affected right now. Even Derrick Henry, he's running well. They're not even scoring touchdowns, or Henry hasn't. I would personally roll Burrow. That feels like the higher upside play. Again, immediate outcome kind of feels similar for them. So if you disagree, if you think Lamar has a higher ceiling on just a gut feeling, you could play him. That would be the only way I would recommend that, is if you just got a feeling. It's just straight vibes. Let's get it. You say you don't know about this week, though. Michael Myers and Mitchell. But then again, Marvin Harrison is going to play. Yeah, I'm going Myers and Mitchell 100% with you. Yeah, I mean, AD Mitchell's at least had a game with Brady Cook. The risk you run with Marvin Harrison, he's already getting eased in. You're just not going to get all the routes you want. And, well, I mean, he could just leave the game. So do you want to get a 0? I don't know. That's a huge risk. So AD Mitchell, who the targets have actually been there. Again, you could get a 0. I think literally AD Mitchell put up a 0 2 weeks ago. At least the targets have been there, even with Brady Cook. So he actually feels like the far better play, as funny as that sounds. And, again, AD Mitchell's not by any means some awesome play, but I am going to play him in a league. I know a lot of people are. Okay, so Jacob, you and bear with me. I'll try to go through these a little quicker because I see we got a lot of people in chat. So give me a moment to get through these. I'll try to stay up to date. And again, keep dropping these questions in the meantime. And if you guys got some opinions on like some of these other people's start sits, feel free to drop them for sure. Always helpful to get some other opinions as well. Jacob, you say start 4 of Bucky. That's a tough one, but we haven't talked much about Bucky. Very tough one to know what to do with him when you have good options, that is. Hendy versus Baltimore, auto start. Chase Brown versus Miami, auto start. T. Higgins. Okay, auto start T. Higgins against Miami. If playing, of course. And Zay versus New England. Ooh, yeah, so that's just between Bucky and Zay. That's very difficult. Bucky was not getting the carries in between the 20s there in the red zone. The volume, however, has been there the last couple of weeks. I'm just going to say I'm not going to overthink it with Bucky. You do run the risk that he is not going to get one of the goal line touches. He can always break one, kind of like he did his first week back. Hopefully there's some receiving usage. Zay Flowers has not had a ceiling. When was the last time Zay Flowers scored, I don't know, 20 points? Actually, I think he might have done it 2 weeks ago. Prior to that, it was like week 1 or something. So I'm just going to result to Bucky there. If you have a feeling, Jacob, that this is the week for Zay Flowers randomly, then you could play him over. That's the only way I would play Zay Flowers over Bucky, despite Bucky. And that wouldn't even be a question if I knew Bucky was going to get goal line carries. Of course, that's probably why you're asking. I'm going to leave Zay Flowers out of it. Zay Flowers scored a touchdown last week, a big touchdown, I believe, or a decent touchdown, and still had what? He still had like 15 fantasy points. Like that. That's just miserable, you know. He's just. What's the ceiling? That's my question, right? I think there's at least a ceiling with Bucky, so I hope that helps. And Ray Gamer, you're saying you sat Reed, sitting BTJ, races out, playing Sutton as wide receiver 1 for sure. Yeah, he's got a great matchup, so you can feel good with Sutton, who's been shaky. Just it's a phenomenal matchup for outside receivers against Jacksonville. And yeah, if you don't need to play those other guys, yeah, absolutely right decision. BTJ actually bounced back, which is cool. But again, yeah, I'm playing Sutton over him personally. I feel like we could get rug pulled on BTJ here this week if starting him over some good options. Again, in a lot of leagues, people might just need to fire up BTJ. Completely understandable. So Rampant said you can't predict injuries. Sadly, yeah, you played Marks over Henderson. Big ouch. Yeah. Okay, you still managed to win. Good to hear, Rampant. Yeah, literally cannot predict injuries. That is so unfortunate. I think Woody Marks got hurt. I don't think the first corner finished, and he had like 10 fantasy points. Probably an RB3 or better on the week. Of course, Henderson was a monster. Again, I've pretty much told everyone to play Henderson last week. Minus Woody Marks, and the other big one was RJ Harvey coming off awesome. And we got rug pulled on Harvey as well, who only scored 10 fantasy points. The craziest part about it, he had 20 or yeah, I think he had 19 carries, and he might have had a reception on top. 0 receiving usage in that game though. He had such good receiving role. We completely got rug pulled. He had an RB2 and RB4 performance. That's fantasy for you. I have Marks on like damn near every team I have alive. Like it's wild. Luckily, I still had a decent week, but the Marks injury, killed some teams, right? That could have been a 30 bomb by him, like seriously. And then you see Jawar Jordan come out of the shadows. Someone was talking about British Brown and whatever the other running back is there, and Jawar Jordan comes out of absolutely nowhere, runs for 100 yards. And that does not tell you like how good of a play Woody Marks was. My God, that's a rip from Marks there. And now he's sketchy this week. Probably get some questions about him. Ray, you were saying Kyron and Jason Myers combined for 10 so far in your format, and your opponent had Devontae Smith, who got 10. So you're probably non-PPR there. Yeah, that sucks. But hey, I mean, yeah, a lot of matchups left, a lot of potential for a big play on your side. Tyler Perry, yeah, you said Kincaid is active. Yeah. Sorry if I accidentally said he wasn't for a moment there. He is active. The PS3 family, I believe you're new. Welcome. Says Estime versus Carter. Is it worth starting Ladd at flex? So Estime versus Carter is very interesting. That's a legitimate question in a lot of leagues right now. And this is just where you got to go with like the process. Like Estime is so sketchy. He's as desperate as you can get. The crazy part is he could be a solid play because he wasn't a pass catcher at all in college. Evan Hull, the other back in the Saints backfield, was like one of the best receiving profiles from a running back like ever in college. Like seriously, this dude was a monster. Audric Estime played the 2 minutes. It makes no sense. I'm not trusting it. This is also a game where they actually could be in a tight one. with the Cardinal. Or no, wait. No. They don't play the Cardinal. Who the hell do the Saints play? Jets. Yeah, that's right. They could be up in the Jets. I'm not trusting Estime again unless it's desperate. Carter, he's already been announced the starter. Again, we could get rug pulled on him as we did earlier this season. He had insane usage last week. Insane. You gotta trust that. Carter feels like he's basically the top waiver wire ad this week, hands down. So you gotta go Carter. And it was Lad worth starting in the flex. Who are you deciding from PS3? Because I would say no. I would be really skeptical of starting Lad if you have any solid option. I think you can start Michael Carter over Lad. Again, Lad has some big play potential. You just never know. The floor is bare minimum though. So and the ceiling feels really limited. Again, minus maybe scoring a one big touchdown. And it feels like maybe he could scrape together 15 to 20 at tops. So let me know if you got some other options. I'd be hesitant to throw him in the flex there for sure. And let's get it. You said Gibbs for 40, Hendy for 30 is what you need. Yeah, I actually just traded for Gibbs in a dynasty league, which I didn't have any Gibbs. So, because I'm playing him in like 2 leagues as well, I need him to have an okay game. I don't want him to go nuts. I also hedged and like traded for a T. Higgins who killed me in fantasy finals last year. So I got him in a matchup now versus Dan. Dan and I are teeing off in the semis of the listener league. It's a big matchup. Luckily, I had Puka, so off to a great start, of course. But yeah, Gibbs, he could go nuclear this week. And this is the week where he's supposed to score 3 touchdowns. He's been at 3-0, 3-0, 3-0. So if that continues, he's going to go nuts. Henderson, always capable of 30. And the floor is better than I think what people think. The last time Henderson scored single digits was like week 8. It's been a long time. So usage has been awesome with him. Josh, welcome. Believe Josh, you're new as well. Half PPR. Flex says Hampton. Tet Gainwell. That's a good one. Haven't heard a lot of Gainwell yet. God, man, that is Hampton for me. Gainwell's been awesome. It is half PPR that nerfs him a little bit. I'm extremely nervous in a half PPR. He's been floating around like 3-4 carries. He's like an awesome flex play, but you're like losing half his value in a half PPR. Hampton gets a phenomenal matchup against Dallas. His actual volume has been pretty good despite Vidal playing and stuff. I would just play Hampton. I feel like a half PPR, I would do it. I know Dan's really high on Gainwell. Again, I think Gainwell is a really good, especially full PPR play. Dan's in chat, I see. So maybe chime in there, Dan, what you think of Gainwell and Hampton. Ted, again, I want to put Ted in my lineups. I'm not feeling great about it, right? It's been sketchy. So I think Hampton's your best player there. Dan, chime in what you think on a half PPR. It's been mostly receiving. Again, Gainwell's had some big plays, and I think his increased usage this week, I'm a little skeptical. I think his increased usage this week on the ground came from Jalen Warren being sick in the game, and they were giant favorite. Like they were up that entire game, so I do think there's some rug pull potential on Gainwell, who again they probably could be down against the Lions. I guess that's a good thing potentially for his receiving. I would express caution is all when you have some really good plays like Hampton. So I hope that helps it. That's my answer is Hampton. Smitty, you say your flex options are Ladd, Coker, Marvin Harrison, Addison. Yeah, sketchy. I mean, like, I don't know what to do with Coker and Hollywood when you have a player like Ladd, right? Like those guys, the floor is 0. They can make a big play just as Ladd can. I would play Ladd over those guys. I'd be sick to my stomach if I sat Ladd. He had a good game, and you get 0 from one of those guys. Addison's interesting. I'll be honest. Addison's actually interesting. He actually has a ceiling potential of just a big play. He actually should have scored a huge touchdown last week. He got caught because I think the ball was like severely underthrown by McCarthy or decently. He's always capable of big play, some good volume. That's a very close one. Like, I'm actually look. I'll say this, Smitty. If you think Lad, if you're gonna be sick that Lad outscores Addison by 5-6 points or something in your matchup, don't play Addison over Lad. I would say if you're down in this matchup and you need like actually like a big play touchdown or something, like Addison actually provides that. It's a phenomenal matchup. His volume and everything has been far better than you think. I know he's coming off a 2-catch game. I think he's just capable of just a complete big play. These guys have similar floors anyways. I would actually be pretty tempted to play Addison there. So make your best judgment there between your confidence on Lad. If you're not confident in Lad at all, play Addison. And you're subbed and good to hear. And yeah, answer what did we get right for you last week? I want to know what that was. And you said one more, Purdy or Burrow. You just gotta go Burrow. I know he's coming off 5 points. I love Purdy. Again, he just feels like an auto 20 points. If someone's gonna score 40 points in this game, it's Joe Burrow. That's what I care about, right? Is Purdy gonna swing your matchup if he scores you 20, 25? Probably not. So, and especially with he'll have T. Higgins back. Gotta go Joe Burrow, right, against Miami. I know they've been a little bit better of a defense. They could just absolutely pile it on. Yeah, so again, shooting for the ceiling there, Smitty, right? That's what's going to get you to the finals if Burrow just goes stupid. And then let's get it. Says Brady Cook is the man. Need the jersey. That's right. Yeah, dude. He was actually providing some fantasy value, which was awesome to see. I mean, he still threw like 3 picks, but hey. I'm just glad he's playing because someone who had two against me in a big redraft league, he needed a quarterback, so he's got to start Quinn Ewers now because Tyrod can't play. So I'm really happy about that. PS3 family says Dart or Brissett for ceiling. Wow. Okay. The craziest part about Brissett is he has just been just on another level. He actually, his ceiling has not been like league winning though, or like weekly winning. It's just been really, really good and consistent. I don't think he's put anything more than like 26 points in a 6 point. So yeah, if you only care about ceiling PS3, it's absolutely Dart technically with the rushing going insane, right? I mean, he puts up like 10 points per game with his legs. So to answer your question, it is Dart 100%. They're just as good of a start. They're in the same tier, though. Phenomenal matchup for Brissett. Who would I start between those two? Geez. I'm so glad I don't have to be faced with that decision. My God. I think I'd go Brissett just for like a median, just for who I think would score more. I think I would go Brissett. God, sounds terrible. I love Dart. I think Dart's just like an absolute auto start, unless you got, literally the top quarterbacks. Dart has the higher like weekly ceiling though. There's just no doubt about that. Brissett has 0 rushing. So Jacob, you're saying you need to fill 1 running back. And hey, before I answer this, we got 15 in here. Keep dropping the questions. We got new guys in here. Yeah, make sure you guys are subbed. Trying to answer everything. Again, keep peppering these questions. I'll keep rolling through these. Maybe Dan will do again. If you're new here, we've been having some issues streaming. Normally we have like an overlay and Dan in here, who's in the chat right now. You'll probably see him. Maybe Dan would do a morning stream, or I would do a morning stream if we can hit like 15 or 20 likes or something tonight. If you guys want to see that before the Sunday games, certainly something we could consider doing, or just do. I'll do it if Dan won't. If you guys want to see that. Back to Jacob's question, but yeah, thanks for everyone watching. You say you need to fill 1 running back and 3 flex spots, half premium, probably your dynasty. Harvey versus Jacksonville. I'm faced with that a couple places. Feels a little sketchy, more sketchy than I'd like. Warren versus Detroit, tough matchup. Michael Carter versus Atlanta, good matchup. it's Michael Carter. So you need one running back. God, that is a sickening list. You want to say it's Harvey, obviously. Where are you at on Harvey? How there's just so much up in question with Harvey right now when you have some solid plays. God, it could be Michael Carter here, man. I don't know if I could do that though. If this is my own lineup, I'd have to play Harvey. And I don't feel great about it. You just got to hope the receiving work is there. The workload was there last week. He is limited. Sean Payton also said Jaleel McLaughlin needs to get more work, or he took a note to himself about that. That's very close. If you think you're going to get, yeah, I mean, that's going to depend on where your confidence is in Harvey's workload. Again, I can't. No one knows. I can't tell you how many work he's going to get. You got to hope the receiving work is back this week. It had been there the weeks before. That was the issue this week, right? If he just had his target share that he was getting, he still would have been a solid play last week. I got to go Harvey. That's tough. I don't know what to do with Harvey, man. I'm starting Dowdle over Harvey this week in, I think, 2 leagues. And listener league, actually, I'm going to be doing that as well. So, and you were saying T versus Miami. Yeah, Marv just sit him. Waddle versus Cincinnati, really sketchy. Gadsden versus Dallas, sketchy. Strange versus Denver, sketchy. Okay, so you need 3 flex spots. I see. That's right, because you put those in 2 questions. Okay. Sorry for confusing that. Okay, so you're playing T. Higgins as long as he's active. You're playing Harvey. Okay, let's play. That's 2. I don't want to touch those tight ends. I don't want to touch Marv. That leaves Waddle. That leaves Warren. That leaves Michael Carter. Picking. Yeah, so you just got to pick. I got to pick one guy to sit from there. I don't know what to think about Jalen Waddle, man. I mean, sit Jalen Waddle. Sit Jalen Waddle. What is it? DJ Turner has actually just been shutting down wide receiver ones. It's Quinn Ewers, man. So I don't even know if they're going to score a touchdown this game. You know, I'm sitting him. You just can't. You can't play him against that. Since he's been playing much better defense, by the way, than people think. I would start Michael Carter over him. I would start Jalen Warren over him. Yeah, that's sketchy. That sucks. You got to actually sit good players, but I just think you can't trust any of those dudes. Yeah, especially Marvin Harrison. Man, I see what you mean, Jacob. God, that is sketchy. So, yeah, you currently have Harvey, Gadsden, in T, and Marv. Yeah, I get Marv the hell out of there, man. Yeah, that could be like a 0, like working him in. If he just re-aggravates the heel, what are they playing for? They're playing for nothing. I mean, that matters. The Vikings just threw like 3 or 4 guys on season-ending IR because they have nothing to play for. So I would be actually really concerned about that. When Marv is already just he said he's good enough to play. That doesn't give me a vote of confidence at all. And yeah, you want to sit Waddle for Ewers, so I just told you to do that. Yeah, that's where I'm at on that. Ray, you're saying you're torn on Burrow and Lamar. Yeah, Higgins is trending to play. And look, you're playing that Miami defense. Again, I think that defense has been also slightly better. Just what I would say is Lamar has just been extremely sketchy. Like Burrow could drop 40 against Miami with T. Higgins and everyone back. It's just as simple as that. I don't think Lamar is going to drop 40 this week. If he did, he'd be the play if it was just start of season Lamar. That's where I'm at. I feel like you need to get pushed in the right direction, gamer. The answer to this question, though, to you, it's simple. It's so simple. Just don't care about floor. These guys both don't technically even have a floor right now. They're both playing maybe a little inconsistent. It's all about ceiling between these 2 guys. So if you think Lamar has the higher ceiling, you play him. I think it's Burrow. I feel like most would agree with that. And Jacob, you were saying at 6-point passing, you would play Burrow too. So yeah, Jacob's backing me up on that one. And PS3, yeah, you were saying you were new here. Yeah, good to have you, man. I hope I answered the question helped, and you can always ask some more questions too if you guys got more. Of course, I got to start ripping through chat here. Holy crap! Thanks for everyone watching. I'm gonna go really fast here. Keep dropping questions. Make sure you're subbed if you're new. Holy crap! Yeah, I'm gonna go fast here. Okay, I speak fantasy. You were here yesterday, I think. So glad that the stream works now. Glad to see you back. You have as a fan of having phone chargers in your bed, you got a question for me. Are you crazy for going wait. Are you crazy if you go young Tyler versus the hopeless Jets for upside instead of Joe Cool? Young, why am I blanking? Like young Tyler. Oh, Shuck. Yeah, Saints. Okay, I was just thinking who. Yeah, no, yeah, I think you're crazy. I think you're crazy. Shuck's been good. Shuck's been good. Again, he's been good. He's been running. You gotta go. You gotta go Joe Burrow. Again, it's cool if Shuck can get another 20 points. You're looking for the 40 bomb, right? Like imagine you just sat Burrow. This is probably the most important thing I can say. Imagine like this was I know it's quarterbacks, it's different. Imagine if for some reason this start sit got translated like Puka. It was bad weather, and you just had to like watch like a Puka game on Thursday night happen in front of your face, and he scores 45 or whatever, or Stafford. You don't want to do that with Joe Burrow. Like you need to have like Josh Allen or one of those players to just start over him. You got to start Joe Burrow. Right. You know, the result doesn't matter. He's got the highest ceiling. So a lot of Joe Burrow questions. Interesting because he is coming off a bad game. I completely understand. Right. You said on Thursday you were thinking between Harvey and Kyren. No chance you were sitting Kyren. And the Rams D. And I don't blame you. I would have done the same thing. Absolutely. Again, he actually got a lot of carries just because the Rams had the ball like the entire game and the weather was terrible. So they started off with just pounding the rock. The points weren't there, but at least the volume was. And a lot of people got rug pulled from Colby Parkinson there as well, which sucks. Yeah. As Parkey and C-Watt flopped on you, right on cue. Speak fantasy. Yeah, nothing you can do about that, man. Parkinson was in a lot of lineups. And he's in a lot. He was in a lot of lineups this week because a lot of Parkinson teams were advancing, right? He helped you get to the semis. So hopefully, all us Parkinson guys can survive it. Luckily, I only had him in one lineup. It was like half PPR, so it doesn't like really matter. In PS3, you were saying you're considering benching Ladd for Estime or Carter. Look, you said maybe starting both running backs. That's where I draw the line. You might absolutely be right about starting Estime over Ladd. I can't do it. I'd be sick to my stomach if here's the thing. Like he's in a timeshare. It's not like he's gonna take over the backfield. He's in a timeshare on the Saints. Like you got to start Ladd. Unless you can tell me 100% that Estime is going to score more, you got to start Ladd. And it doesn't feel good. But Carter's a solid start for desperation again. Top waiver wire ad. Jacob, you're saying the way you're touching PS3 there. That's good that you guys are kind of talking that over. And Dan's in here saying smash that like. And hey, again, it would be nice if we could do a morning stream, answer more questions. I know people like those. Again, if we can hit like 50 likes, one of us will do it. If we're lucky, both of us can actually do it if our Zoom or something is working. Jacob Watson cooked probably a lot of you guys tonight. Had to fire him up if he was kind of your best option. I didn't realize that wind was going to be so bad. That wind killed that game. Jacobs killed me in a league. Actually, I had a league with Love and Jacobs. I mean, that was just brutal, man. Thankfully, that team has Puka, so we're kind of just back where we started after all that. I mean, my God, what a week! What a week it's been. Okay, so Dan, here's the Gainwell. So whoever had the Gainwell question earlier, Gainwell will terrorize the Lions in full PPR, but tough to start him over Hampton and half PPR. Yeah, pretty much what I was saying. Yeah, there is a lot of PPR scam potential in full PPR, so definitely a really solid flex. Jacob, you're saying if you're chasing the ceiling, okay, yeah, this is about the one I just answered about Lad. Yeah, if you're chasing ceiling, go with Lad. His floor is like 0 with Carter, but yeah, Estime. Okay, you think Estime is like a confirmed 10 points? I don't know that he is, but here's the thing. You could be right if the receiving work is actually somehow there over Evan Hull. I don't know. Maybe we can just take their word for just, I don't know, not take their word. We can just take what happened on the field as evidence. He was playing the 2-minute stuff. How are they playing Estime in the 2-minute drill over Evan Hull? That doesn't make any sense, man. I'm not buying it. I would start Evan Hull over Estime, despite the receiving usage last game. It was an injury mid-game. Maybe things can change. I would start, Lad over Estime. I don't think there was actually a floor on Estime enough. If there might be in week 17, again, that might be more of a week 17 thing. Keep him stashed. You might, maybe I'm wrong. And hopefully you're there if you sit him. So you're okay. Ray, you're saying Texans defense. Hope they have their best game all year. Yeah, I mean, they're a phenomenal defense. Hopefully they just score a touchdown for you. Oh, man, I had that Rams defense fired up. It was looking so good. They actually had a good fantasy week because they got sacks and picks. They were like an inch away from scoring that touchdown. I'm sure like a lot of you guys had Rams defense fired up. An inch from that pick 6. That would have been awesome. And then they just got completely lit up after that. It was just a disaster. I feel like that could have been an awesome start. Awesome game for the Rams defense there. And Danny said, yeah, you didn't know Jordan Love was going to get concussed. Forgive us. Yeah, I mean, dude, if there's anyone in this world that knows what it's like to have a quarterback concussed in week 16, it's not me, because I had Mariota super flex and Love in a super flex concussed today with 3 points. I had all my teams with Jalen Hurts basically last year. That's my famous story from last year. I got completely tanked in the semis. He got 3 points on one drive and got concussed on the second drive. Yeah, this is nothing new to me. So welcome. It's like that meme. It's like what is it from like Pirates of the Caribbean? Remember? It's like first time. That's what it. First time, Jacob. Yeah, man. Yeah, we got to get some guardian caps on these quarterbacks in week 16. This is brutal, man. Brutal. They're all turning into Tua. Josh, you were saying appreciate the input. Leaning Hampton, but tough call. Yeah, I agree. It's a tough call. The Hampton one just feels too obvious, right? The work's there. He's a good player. He's been working back off injury. Great matchup. Again, I'm always more concerned on what the process is than the variance of what the final score is. I think the process will lead you completely to Hampton there. I think it's really important, especially when we're looking at results and you guys are doing your start sits. Again, good reminder is like, what's the process, right? A player can just like randomly break a play, a busted coverage for a 99-yard touchdown. It doesn't mean they were the right play at all. I'm always, the volume and opportunity is what you're looking for, right? So I think that's just a perfect one on Hampton there, and just talent, right? All kind of mixing together. We've seen him have awesome games already. He's actually had some solid games since he's back. I think your confidence has got to be there, Josh, and just hope for the best, of course. And so, 15 people in here, Dan, saying, yeah, a lot of people in here. Again, keep dropping the likes, sub if you're new, and keep dropping these questions. Holy crap, like, you guys are awesome. Dude, I'm going to, like, fly through these, okay? Everyone that's in here, don't worry. I'm going to get to the questions. Keep dropping them. I've never been so backed up on chat here. This is insane. Okay. Yeah, Ray, new sub. Hell yeah, man. Okay, Mitch. Start 2, Breece Hall, RJ Harvey, Xavier Worthy. God, Xavier. What do you do with Xavier Worthy? You gotta go Breece Hall and RJ Harvey, man. This is one of those ones, though. Again, whatever your confidence level is, like who I would sit between those running backs, between Worthy, I don't No, they feel pretty similar. I think there's Worthy has legitimate playability. I would personally start those two running backs. That's a complete toss up. All those guys in the exact same tier. So many question marks for all three. Great question. I'm leaning to running backs. I wouldn't blame you for playing Worthy. That might be one, like, put in chat if you guys would play Worthy over one of those running backs. I'm just going off volume, and RJ Harvey and Breece Hall are talented. They're running backs. They can just punch one in. That's where I'm leaning. And let's see here. Next one. Charlie Morris, new viewer, welcome. Says, standard PPR, your flex has a clear choice between Xavier Worthy, Jalen Warren, and Harold Fannin. Yeah, I mean, Harold Fannin is like unsittable right now. Again, as I was just talking about between process and results, hey, he's got Shedeur Sanders as quarterback. He also had I think he had like 12, just full PPR points. Yeah, standard PPR points. Last week, he had a 40-something% target share, 14 targets. You can't sit that. I mean, I think he only caught like 6 of them. He's been coming off some monster game. He's just too good to sit. So that's what I would do. Yeah, I mean, you just cannot sit a player that is dominant. He's just so talented. And hopefully they score more than 3 points. I'm going to assume they're going to score more than 3 points this week. So I think things are looking up for Fannin. I mean, literally, he's like a top 3 tight end play this week. The tight end streets are barren right now. Past the top couple of guys, it's just a flat. You get Fannin at the top of the level there. Right, you're saying Vikings coach said they would make sure Jefferson gets his 1,000. There, you heard it. What was the question? It was between Jefferson and like Ladd. Yeah, you got to go Jefferson if it's someone like that. Hope for the best, Krabby Patty, new viewer in here as well. Welcome. Says start 2 of the 3: Michael Wilson, Michael Carter, Xavier Worthy. Michael Wilson, just auto start. Again, talking about the process, the volume. I know the splits with Marv. Marv's hurt. He could leave this game with injury. They literally said they're going to ease him in, whatever that means. Jacoby Brissett's throwing the ball a record amount of times. Literally broke the record for completions in a game this year. I mean, what is Michael Wilson averaging here? Like 15 targets per game. I think we're going to see like half a Marv active. You got to start. Absolutely. Yeah. I hope you don't get rug pulled. That's just the right play. I'm going to be firing him up actually against Dan in here in a matchup with Brissett stacked and McBride stacked. It just feels too good. It feels too good to start him, especially when you got those options. Man, I'm going to be a coward here, and I'm actually going to start Xavier Worthy over. Okay, actually, here's a question for you, Krabby. PPR, if you just need like a big week, because I know I've just told you to start a Cardinal. If you need true ceiling in this matchup, maybe you played against Puga or I don't know, or maybe you started Jacobs or something like that. Roll Xavier Worthy. Hope he just gets peppered. Hope he scores a big touchdown. Hope we see what we saw from Xavier Worthy at the end of last year. If you're just looking for a floor, you play Michael Carter. That's as simple. Wherever you are in your matchup, I think that's whatever you're looking for between your two players. That's your decision right there. I hope that helps. And Dan saying, do we have a like goal? We have 15 likes. We'll do a morning stream for you guys. Again, we can double check. Things change overnight. Seriously, I mean, a lot of the reason you're asking these questions, they're such tight questions, right? I mean, sometimes maybe we sleep on it. We wake up with new information or whatever it might be, right? There could be something on Marv, for example. A lot of people on Marv and Michael Wilson. We might just get more information on these players, T. Higgins, all these guys that changes it. Sorry, 1 second here, my dog. So yeah, we'll be back in the morning if we can hit 15 likes. And Ray saying Amon-Ra and McBride had their best game of the season last week. Hoping they won't go off on you. Dude, I'm playing McBride in a couple leagues. Like, thankfully, I haven't in a couple leagues, so it'll cancel out. Terrified, dude. McBride is like, I know, we understand what the season McBride's been having, especially if you're playing in tight end premium. What McBride is doing right now is just insanity. I mean, this is like got to be like one of the best tight end seasons ever from a tight end. He's just lapping the field. So I'm feeling good starting him this week. I mean, hey, everyone player can have a dud every once in a while. I pray that does not happen this week. But for your case, Ray, hopefully it does. Now that you're going against them, yeah, just be thankful you didn't play them last week, Ray. Hopefully you had a first round bye or something and got to avoid them that way. Josh said he's subbed. Appreciate that, Josh. We go live every Wednesday, Thursday. In the new season, we might even try to go live again on Friday before the night before games, basically. So, yeah, if you guys again want to check in on Wednesday next week, absolutely do so. Hopefully, we have our Zoom stuff figured out so we can have both of us on here answering questions. Again, for those of you that knew, there's Dan's the co-host here. We're just having some technical difficulties, so solo today. And PS3, you were saying yours is a 4-point passing touchdown. Okay, Dan's helping you out there, and you were saying you're leaning Dart. Yes, 4-point passing touchdown, PS3. You gotta go Dart if that's what you're looking for in ceiling, right? Jacoby Brissett's been awesome in 4-point. I got him in a league. Not the league or the week winning upside that you want. Again, I don't care if Dart scores less than Brissett. I want to get a 30 bomb. So I think you're leaning Dart. You absolutely do that in a 4-point. And I love that process. You're trying to make the finals, right? That 20 points from a quarterback doesn't really matter. It's good, especially in a super flex. It's really good. You want just a game busting week, right? And Jacob, you're saying the next comment is okay. Yeah, that's right. Man, I'm really backed up. Yeah, keep dropping these questions, boys. I'm gonna fly through these as I keep saying. Okay, Josh, you were saying. Wait, hold on. Where the hell was I? Okay, we're talking about Burrow. Okay, yeah. If you guys are Dan, I'm gonna trust you to if you can to just if people are kind of like replying back to kind of what I said and mulling it over, maybe help them out there just so I can go through a bit quicker. But Josh, you were saying full PPR Worthy or Marvin Harrison. It's Worthy. It's Worthy 1,000,000%. You're also starting Mark. No brainer. You cannot start both of those guys in with the state Marv's at. Again, I don't want to have Marv in my lineup this week. And again, Worthy actually has a theoretical ceiling. I don't know if it hits, but it being there is what's important. Play him 100% with Michael Wilson. Higgins. Okay, perfect. Doing a good job catching up. Hey, Edson, what's going on, man? How did last week go? Hopefully, you had a good week. By the way, again, people checking in. Literally, how did the week go? The last week was insane, man. Just landmine or not. I mean, there were some landmines, but just nuclear explosions. Dude, I just kept playing ETN in every league. It felt like I played in 2 or 3 leagues, but I just kept playing against Bijan, all these guys. Again, I of course had some guys going nuts. It was impossible to win all your matchups. You know what I mean? I went 4 for 3 on the week. The rest of my teams had buys. I'm thankful they had buys because that was I lost a matchup as a 40-point favorite because the guy had ETN and Pitts. It was, and I even had Trevor Lawrence, man. Just what a week that was. I'm glad there was at least more fantasy points being scored than less. It feels terrible when there's no point scoring, even when you're winning. Way more fun when there's big scores. So just happy about that. So anyways, I'm trying to catch up for chat. You guys are chatting here. That's awesome. If I missed something, just let me know. I'll get to it again there. Trying to hit every start sit question here as a priority with everyone in here. So I'll be getting your question if you just joined. Edson, you said you pulled a 27-second for Brissett. Yeah. You also you sent us. Yeah, you got a 27-second for Brissett. Look, if you don't need Brissett and you're out, just take your second, 100%. He could technically be starting. You are putting a risk of that. if there's no chance you need him, I'm fine with that. I guess I don't really like that you sent a fourth this year. I would have hoped you could have, I don't know, not done that. You sold high. I can't, can't be mad at a profit. So, yeah, I sent like 2/3 on a contending team that's still alive here for Brissett in the league. I didn't even feel good about it. It's technically a good deal. He's been awesome, of course, helped us win the week, but just take your second. Okay, so speak fantasy. You say one more. Gut call in a win or go home in the semis, of course. Who are you sitting out? RJ, Rico, or Michael Carter? Man, I'm faced with that decision. Rico and RJ Harvey in a couple leagues, as I was saying earlier. I'm gonna go Rico, man. I'm just sketched on RJ Harvey. If last week he didn't get hurt and fumble and kind of put up a fan, it was just the perfect storm, right, for RJ Harvey. The workload was there. I'm gonna go Rico Dowdle, man. The workload was there for him too. It's a good matchup. You gotta play him, but who? RJ Harvey or Michael Carter? Yeah, I'm. The thing is, there's question marks for both. RJ Harvey is just a far better running back. I want to go down on the hill again with my process. Let me go down on the hill with RJ Harvey if so. It's possible Michael Carter outscores him. If someone scores 20 plus points, it's got to be RJ Harvey. I'd be shocked if it's possible. I guess Michael Carter could do it. The one thing to note is Dan Mercado, again, it was an injury at the start of the game. Dan Mercado, though, it was his first game back, limited practice. So just trust your better players, I would say here, Speak Fantasy. Pray it works out. I do think that if you're deciding between RJ Harvey and Rico Dowdle, those are at least solid guys to have in the flex or the running back slots. At least you're not starting Estime or Hull. And you got Bijan locked in. So hopefully Bijan just cleans up any mess that those guys leave behind. You got to be feeling good about Bijan. Yeah, Dan was kind of just saying the same thing I see now about a lot of Michael Carter questions. Again, I'm going to be starting him in a couple leagues. He's a great, kind of desperation play. Again, I play him over Marvin Harrison. So it'd be great to figure out where the line is. Maybe some more questions we can do that. Hey, KJC, welcome. You're a new viewer, I believe. So you're trying to figure out your three flexes. Currently have ETN, Flowers, McMillan, and you're benching Dowdle. Okay, swap Dowdle with someone. And what makes it difficult because you have McMillan in there already. You got to play ETN. Tough matchup. You can't bench ETN with Tootin now injured. Look, I'm going to ignore the Panthers. What I would say is if there's something in your matchup that I can't really get in the context of this question, like maybe this guy has a Panthers or Ravens player on his lineup or the quarterbacks. If I'm just playing my best players, I'm playing Dowdle and I'm playing McMillan. I know McMillan's been sketchy. Flowers is playing. No. Flowers is playing New England. Sorry, I was thinking about his matchup last week where he played the Bengals. That's Waddle this week. Okay, here's what I say. I would play Dowdle and McMillan, but it's not close enough that, like, if you need true upside, if you have, like, Lamar in your lineup or something like that, or he's got like maybe this guy even has, like, Henry or something, and you're just trying to bank on a big Flowers game, I don't have any conviction the big Flowers game happens. It's possible. I would play Dowdle and McMillan over Flowers, but again, if you need this true ceiling, you played Puka, something like that, and you just don't think the two Panthers gets it done, then I'll play Dowdle over McMillan, and I'll keep Flowers in that case. But I would personally play the two Panthers in a neutral kind of matchup. I think those are probably your best players. And yeah, likes are flowing in. Again, I think we're, for at least where I'm at, 3 more likes and we'll do the morning stream. If you guys are interested, or even if you just want to like the stream and subscribe. Hey, I appreciate everyone in here, all the new viewers. Got a bunch of new subs this stream. And again, we'll be live, Wednesday, Saturday, and maybe Friday next week because there's probably going to be Saturday games. All right, so catching up on chat finally here. Hey, Blake, another Blake here. Welcome. Says, what do you think between Michael Wilson, Rico Dowdle? Great question. Oh God, that's a great question. I mean, it would be a no-brainer if Marv just wasn't active at all. Yeah. I'm going to go, God, that is so tough. I'm going to go Michael Wilson. Yeah, I'm going to go Michael Wilson. That's a really good one. Here's a tiebreaker, though. Are you playing against, like, Brissett? Do you have Brissett? Does this guy have, I don't know, Tet or something? Are you down big? If there's some more context there, again, it's so close that these are the ones you can kind of tie break with what your matchup's like. It would be helpful to know. If I'm going in a vacuum, Michael Wilson was, I know Dowdle had his monster games, but Michael Wilson in recent memory here has scored 37 points. An awesome mashup. There's just so much volume to go around. Again, Marv could just leave the game early. I've been saying I don't trust Marv in any of my lineups or any of your guys' lineups if you have anyone to play. I'm just closing my eyes with Michael Wilson. I think he's legit. Like what he's doing on the field literally looks legit. He's just commanding targets. I think he's going to be the lead one here. I'm taking the leap of faith. If you are scared of a potential maybe 6 or 7 points, again, that's kind of what you're getting if I'm wrong. If you know, no one knows this answer between Michael, what to do with Michael Wilson. I'm trusting it, though. I'm seriously am. With all those pass attempts to go around, what he's been doing, if you're just care about getting 10 points or something, I guess go Rico Dowdle. I feel like really though the floor and the ceiling feels better with Michael Wilson, and that's a really good one though, because I like Rico, and again I'm trying to get him in any lineup possible. He's just a solid flex play. The volume's there. I think we got the answer. And yeah, Dan, you were saying that is a tough one, man. And yeah, if Marv isn't there, yeah, exactly. You absolutely have to go Michael Wilson. The thing is, like, Marv might not be there. They're saying they're going to lean him in. Again, he could just leave early. Like, if we knew he's going to leave early, it's obviously Michael Wilson. So, yeah. I mean, it's very hard to answer questions and for us to do these start sits. Michael Wilson's probably one of the most interesting players in fantasy in recent memory. This guy, is he amazing, or is he just like, I don't know. I guess we might get an answer this week. But yeah, I want him in my lineups if possible. Hope that helps fellow Blake. Give me 1 second. My dog's back at the door. All right. So let's see here. We got, okay, you wrote out your question, kind of weird. Michael, you're going to put it in again. Michael, I don't see your, okay, wait, hold on. Sorry. I think I just completely, hold on, man. Am I just missing chat here? Hold on. Hold on. I feel like I've just been missing chat here. Okay. It must have like updated and I didn't see it. Okay, I'm going to go back in time here. Again, I'll rip through these. I'm sorry if I jumped your question. I think my chat just like auto updated. Okay. J Peach, think you can have a productive day playing the Saints defense? Yeah, I'm playing them like everywhere, man. They're playing Brady Cook. He's thrown actually, I think 6 picks or 5 picks in his last 2 games. Got to play Saints. It's a really bad D streaming week. Okay, Will, welcome. Says start 3. Evans, Tet, Ladd, BTJ, Tyrone Tracy. You're playing Evans. You're playing Tet. God. What do you do with Tyrone Tracy? Close my eyes and play Tyrone Tracy over Brian Thomas. Doesn't feel good. Close my eyes. That's a tough one, man. Ladd's just not good enough when you got some actual guys that can get some volume. Just The Chargers are just a disaster. I'm trying to avoid all Chargers. I feel like that's just going to continue to be the right process. Krabby, you were saying that the guy you played had Sam Darnold, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert. Okay, that's actually not too bad that you didn't get nuked on. So yeah, that certainly helps with your decisions this week. You can just kind of play your best lineup. And are we willing to start Mitchell over Marvin Harrison? Yes, I am. I'm willing to start AD Mitchell over Marvin. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You know, I'm not playing injured Marvin Harrison, as I keep saying all stream. I'm not doing it. He literally left the last game hurt. So I will say, look, if anyone out there disagrees with me about they think Marvin's going to be good, again, I've everything I've seen from him. Look into it. He said I'm good enough to play. That's his answer. That does not put any confidence in me. They're just going to shut him down if anything happens to him. He gets hurt again. So, I mean, pretty much feel like he could be a complete decoy out there or whatever. So, I mean, he already kind of is when he's on the field sometimes, but we're hoping that does not affect Michael Wilson. Hampton or T. Higgins for JLR here. Actually, I saw someone put down low that I will get to in a moment is like Waddle versus T. Higgins. I'll just say that right now. T. Higgins, for whoever asked that, hands down. T. Higgins. But for Hampton and T. Higgins, yeah, I'm going to be honest here. Like, again, all I'm caring about ceiling, if you played against T. Higgins in fantasy finals and maybe the semifinals last year, you would know to play T. Higgins here if he's active, of course. So yes, I'm going T. Higgins unless there's information, again, that could be a morning stream thing. If we get information that T. Higgins is kind of getting in a Marv situation or something, yeah, okay, you go Hampton. T. Higgins is capable of dropping 30 or 40. Look, Hampton's really good. Again, I was telling someone to start Hampton earlier, but I want the bomb. I want to get that Puka-like performance. That's what's going to bring you to your finals, man. Especially like not if you're playing like Jahmyr Gibbs or something like against these guys, dude. You got to just go for ceiling. Like, do not let I don't know, floor or just don't let any fear of playing a guy that's, you know, I don't know, like Hampton scores 15 and T. Higgins scores 9. Like, that doesn't matter. Get the guy that's going to drop you the bomb. That's all I could, you know, keep reiterating when talking about these, just to instill confidence in your decision this week when you're setting your lineups. Michael Hart, you were saying Jawhar Jordan, he may start for the Texans. That's a morning stream thing. It's really up in the air right now. I haven't checked in the last couple hours. Had over 100 yards last week. Yeah, I mean, did rip Woody Marks, all of us that started him. What a shame. But Jawhar Jordan, what a game. And you really want to sit Genty? Yeah, let us know what. Okay, wait. Dude, like the chat. There's just hey, thanks everyone for like the chat. Like I'm legit getting like lost in here, so I'm doing my best. Just let me know if I missed anything. Seriously, I'm doing my absolute best. Like, Michael, your question, was it something you were saying you had Fannin and McBride? I'm just trying to catch what your actual question was. Okay, just type your question if I missed it, Michael. I am so lost right now. And you said you want to sit Genty, which is completely understandable, right? If you got any solid options, you can absolutely consider benching Genty or just flat out benching him. Bench Estime, Vince says to wait if to play Jordan if Marks is out. You know, I don't want to give you an answer here, Vincent, just out of fear, because I don't want to tell you to play Audric Estime. I don't want to tell you to play Audric Estime. This is a morning stream type question. What I would say is if it's up in the air, God, if I could play Jordan, okay, if it looks like Jordan's going to play and you have to make this decision and we can't, you can't make the morning stream. And by the way, we hit 15 likes, so we will be doing the morning stream. So yeah, shout out to everyone in here. You want to play, I'm closing my eyes and playing Jawhar Jordan, hoping he is a beast. And even had some receiving volume. I'm playing him over Estime. If Marcus is going to play, yeah, I guess you got to play Estime. That's your best guy. Keep updated. hopefully we get information by the time you have to make that decision. I'm assuming Woody Marks doesn't play at noon, if you're asking. Yeah, it's just hard because I that's all I can tell you. I can't tell you to start Estime for sure or something. But yeah, I guess Jawar if Marks is out. And let me just see, Michael, if you put your question in here real quick. Okay, no, you haven't put it in yet. Just let me know if you do. And all right, going back. Okay. Yeah, hey, I appreciate you, Dan, like helping out here too. Like I've never had such a tough time sorting through here, man. So shout out to everyone in chat. Like yeah, I've just never seen so much. That's awesome. It's very confusing on my iPad, like scrolling through here. Keep spamming me. Keep making it confusing. Keep these questions coming in. And Rampant's asking, is this a dynasty question? Let me read this real quick. It says Judkins and a third for Drake. Yes. Get Drake London. And Judkins is awesome, by the way. The receiving usage is just not there. I think I was never buying him just at all. When he was doing good, I mean, he was just far too expensive as a talented running back. He's awesome. Sometimes in Dynasty, you just got to capitalize when a player like him. Again, I think in his career, things can turn around. Maybe he gets more pass catching opportunity. No, Sampson is a rookie, and that's a talent of his, of course. So, you hope the quarterback plays. You absolutely get Drake London. I don't care if that's half PPR. Drake London is a monster, man. And okay, okay, I'm back to like where I was. So yeah, sorry guys, I had like skipped over, and then I did the Michael Wilson, Rico Dowdle one. We're back to we're back to where we should be. Let's get it. Sorry for the wait. Purdy, Shuck, Lawrence, Young, or Stroud. I guess these are just like the waiver wire options. That's a lot of options. Good Lord, man. Good Lord. What do you do with all those options? Let me just look at some matchups here real quick for you. That's impossible to go around, to be honest. Purdy stands out as just like, if you need 20, just play Purdy. That's what I'll say. If you value getting 20 points, 20 to 25, 18 to 25, Brock Purdy he might score that in that range more than any quarterback, probably more than Josh Allen. Like, that's how consistent he normally is. Let me just pull up Lawrence here. Yeah, against Denver, that's crazy to know. Lawrence has been way better than people will even know or realize. They're playing Denver. I guess if you need, here's what I'll say. If for some reason you think Lawrence has the highest ceiling here against Denver, I mean, it's possible. They just lit up the Jets. Let's be honest. I'm playing Purdy. Yeah, I'm playing Purdy. He probably actually has the highest ceiling. Got to be Purdy for me. Good options though. And hey, Dan says Purdy as well. There you go. So we're both on Purdy. And let me check. Yeah, Michael, if you put your question in there again. You said Blake, May, or Brissett, 4-point passing touchdown. Running back. Okay. May or Brissett. Man, God damn it. I hate these questions. I hate these quarterback ones. Like, how do you say to sit Brissett? The Ravens defense has been better, by the way, than we realized. Like, they've been getting healthier. My God. Damn you, Michael. No, you know what? Call me crazy. I'm playing Brissett, man. I look, that's what I'm playing. This is one of those ones I don't want to even tell you to play Brissett over. It's 4-point. Never mind. We're playing May. We're playing May. Yeah, okay. I didn't even see that. You're playing May. The rushing upside's there with May. Brissett is just not going to run. That's the tiebreaker. Yeah. It was already close enough. I was going to give the tiebreaker to Brissett with just a phenomenal matchup. Just the pure volume. Maybe May. Maybe they're just pounding the rock or something. No, you play May. absolutely in that format. All right, let me jump back here. I just wanted to make sure I answered Michael's question there as I missed it. Yeah, Higgins or Waddle. I said absolutely Waddle. Or sorry, Higgins. Absolutely Higgins. Do not play Waddle over Higgins. I hope that answers your question. AO, hey, welcome back. Says all the experts are saying Aaron Jones. Yeah, you know what? No, all the experts are saying Aaron Jones. I get how they're no, do not play Aaron Jones over Rico Dowdle. You're playing I'm a Vikings fan. Look, I don't let my Vikings homerism, I don't think, affect me. I mean, like I sold off all my Jefferson before, all but one before McCarthy came back. I try to be as realistic as possible with the knowledge of being a Vikings fan. Do not play Aaron Jones over Rico Dowdle. I could not be more certain that if they played 100 times, you're going to want Rico Dowdle more than 50. Like, undoubtedly, you will like that. Yeah, Rico Dowdle. Ignore the experts on that one. I can't believe they're saying Aaron Jones over Dowdle. I know it's a great matchup. I know that's why, right? Just play. It's a good matchup for Dowdle too. And Aaron Jones can get hurt like that. I don't want to mess around with that. Okay, I see Michael's original question. I had missed that, but we just answered it. Okay, Dan got a trade offer here, Dynasty. Let's go over this real quick. And he said Gibbs, he inbox offer, receive Gibbs and Harvey, send Marv, Travis Hunter, ETN first. Okay, so Dan and I were talking about this off stream. Again, this guy wants the world for Gibbs. It's understandable. Gibbs is amazing. Dan's a Lions fan, for everyone that's new here, by the way. So he loves him some Gibbs, of course. Honestly, I genuinely say you could just cross off Harvey and ETN because, I mean, I own Harvey's. I like him, but ETN's the better player rest of the season at this very second anyways. I know you're contending. I would just rather have ETN. I think their values in the same range, right or wrong. I'm not even commenting on my own opinion. That's just they're in the same value range. So yeah, you're just back to that offer, Dan, where you're just sending Marv, Hunter, and a first for Gibbs, which I wouldn't do. I would absolutely not do. So oh my God, you have to add in a second too. Yeah. So I mean, he just put in a smoke screen with Harvey. Yeah. No, I'm not doing that. As good as Gibbs is. Okay, Michael, you were saying you need a major upside down. Yeah, major upside. If that's about the May one, you're playing May, 100%. 4-point passing touchdown, he has the major upside. Okay, Jacob says Trey play Higgins. Okay, play Higgins over Waddle. Easy. Okay, yeah, he's answering the question. Yes, play Higgins over Waddle. Glad we can agree on that easily. That's not even a question. Like seriously. I mean, thanks for the question, but that we cannot reassure you that Higgins is. It doesn't matter what. If I don't care if Higgins, plays one snap and rolls his ankle. He's the right play. God, yeah. Do we have Waddle guys in playoffs here? Let me know if you guys got Waddle on a team alive and what you're doing with them. I mean, you cannot feel good about him right now. Blake, you're saying that right now the guy has AJ Brown and Swift. Okay, sorry, yeah, I was answering that so long ago, and you gave me the context now. I hope if you're still here, I'll of course still answer. He has AJ Brown and Swift. No other Cardinals or Panthers. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's not going to change my advice then. I'm going to go with the two Panthers because I think that's who I would play. I think that's your two best players. I don't know that Zay Flowers brings you enough upside. Again, you just box score watch. Lamar's just not even been on fire. I think that has a lot to do with it as well as just the lack of Lamar, lack of real Lamar. So I think you can just stick with the Panthers there. And again, I'm a tech guy. He's been fine. He's basically just Zay Flowers, but I think he actually has a true ceiling. You can just get a monster game out of Ted. Again, he's a rookie. That's where I lean. So I hope that helps. And then Jacob saying, Blake, your dog. Just hold your dog during the stream. He might have some starts. That's right. Hey, 20 likes, man. We'll get the dog going here. He's just knocked out. Oh, yeah, you can kind of see him there. We'll get him going for a start set, though. Annoy him if we get 20 likes. And yeah, we're getting some more questions here. Okay, I thought I was caught up. Hey, keep firing them in, boys. Thought I was caught up. No, we were absolutely not caught up here. Okay. Let me make sure I'm at the right spot. Did we get another Dowdle or an Aaron Jones? If so, I mean, I just answered it. So yeah, Dowdle easily. You might ask me this like the same question there, AO. Maybe just because I hadn't got to it. Dowdle, if that's another new question though. And then, Tiffany, welcome. Believe Tiffany, you're new. Anyone else playing Judkins? Yeah, I mean, you know what? We were telling people to play Judkins last week. I mean, you had to play Judkins with a lot of these start sits. You got rug pulled by Shedeur Sanders. So what are we doing with him this week? He and Fannin are the only two not trying to sabotage Sanders on this team. Judy, I saw that interception. That's bad. Fannin's amazing, man. Actually, Tiffany. Sorry, but Fannin's awesome. I love Fannin. Yeah, look, what are you playing? If Judkins is your best player, I'm closing my eyes. I'm definitely playing him over like Michael Carter's and stuff. Yeah, maybe it doesn't feel great playing Judkins. Judkins is just so talented that I'm just playing him over those suspect ones. But yeah, when you got like Dowdle and stuff, heck, Dowdle's good enough for me to play over Judkins. That's probably like about the line. Pass catching's there, volume's also there. I mean, probably Dowdle's more likely to score a touchdown, right? So I feel like that maybe would answer a question just in general, right, about playing Judkins. I play Michael Wilson easily over Judkins if, again, I'm not too scared about Marv playing injured. I've been saying all stream. I feel like that's the range, though, for receiver. I play Judkins over Waddle. I hope that kind of gives some references. And if you got a real, kind of lineup decision, again, just drop that. And we'll get to that. So you're okay. AO, you saying you're playing Judkins? He is capable of a 30 burger, which is why we were saying to play him. And the receiving upside could have been there. It didn't end up being, but I felt like it was fine to project more receiving volume than he got. He got like none anyways. He never gets any. So we got a little bit of an answer on that. The receiving is just not going to happen unless they call up a screen or two in a game that we can't really predict that. It will happen every once in a while. Keep them coming. And let's get it. Says, yeah, me too, Blake. All right. Tiffany says, hey, everyone. Thank you for the welcome. Dynasty Savvy, do you or anyone in here want you to run their lineup in the Sims? Wow. Okay. Cool. If you're able to do that, let's see. You got Sims open. It wants to know the current membership ownership against the field. I see. So so the Sims for DFS. I mean, someone might have DFS lineups in here. I'm sure plenty do. I mean, I don't even play DFS personally. I know Dan doesn't, but if someone needs their lineup run through the Sims, I mean, that's extremely helpful. Sims, I know in DFS are like everything, right? You can't be making lineups on your toilet anymore and winning. It's just mathematically impossible these days with how good these Sims are. So, I mean, that is extremely useful. I'm sure someone that plays DFS would appreciate that. Another lineup optimizer. Honestly, that could be. I wonder if that would be a really good tool for just using in like redraft. Again, I don't use optimizers. I know what they are. Oh, are they, Tiffany? Any useful at all? I know it's against the the optimizers are based on the percentage of the field playing mixed with a bunch of other factors, but I wonder if there's anything in the tool or there is a tool out there for optimizing actual like redraft start sit lineups out there. You know what I mean? I'm sure there's something of an optimizer. I mean, of course, I think you can like do a Fantasy Pros optimizer lineup, but I wonder if there is like more closer to the DFS type optimizer Dan says, Blake, use your phone to pull up the stream on YouTube and follow the chat. You know what? It's just the same on my iPad. It just like glitched one time, but there's been so many questions that are also from the same people that I am just like I'm jumping around, and yeah, it's been hard to follow, but very very fun stream so far. And hey, Michael, I'm sorry, I completely missed your other part of your question. By the way, you can tell I'm not on my top game. Yes, I see. Oh, yeah, okay, you said it. You still have one more question. All right, I made you wait for this one. Genty, Hampton, Carter, Estime, Jordan, Tet's in there. 2 RB, 1 flex. So I'm assuming, yeah, that's what you want. 2 RB, 1 flex. Okay. Hampton is in there easily. Tet's in there easily. I'm still going Genty over Carter. Sue me. Hey, again, this is what one's like. If you want to play Carter over Genty, like he absolutely can outscore him. Genty's receiving usage has at least been there. He can always break one. He's just phenomenal. The situation's awful. At least you get Geno back for what that's worth. I know that's not worth much. I would personally roll Genty. I think it's a legitimate question. If you need a nudge to go Genty, I can absolutely give you that. God, I just don't think Michael Carter's like got a true ceiling. It's theoretically there with Genty. Theoretically, I'm not saying it's likely, but that, yeah, I want to roll. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, does Michael Carter have a bigger floor than Genty anyways? I don't think he does, right? Maybe a slightly better median outcome, you could argue. Let's see. Tiffany, you're saying you got a few Brissett skinny stacks. A Bryce Young with Tet is another snag. Yeah, you know what? That would be an interesting one. I'm assuming, again, you're just talking about DFS is getting nasty. I heard Shuck. It could be a nasty one against the Jets. Shuck, Juwan. Hey, we got to get your John. Everyone get their Juwan Johnsons fired up, by the way. Like, unironically, he's been actually obviously really good for fantasy, especially these tight end premiums. Juwan Johnson, if you're not familiar with his game, is just the king of fantasy playoffs. Even when he's just dead in the water, this dude comes out of absolutely nowhere. Yeah, so he's actually been good this year. If Juwan Johnson randomly drops a 30, but I have no like actual reason to. It's just a pattern. Fire up Shuck and those Juwan Johnson stacks. Of course, love Olave. But Vele goes down. That's huge for Olave and Juwan Johnson. I will literally like cry laughing if Juwan Johnson puts up another like league winning, whatever, fantasy playoff. I mean, this dude is unstoppable. Dan and I always talk about just like make sure you got Juwan Johnson in your roster for weeks 15 through 17. Even when he's just dead, he never is for those weeks. But yeah, Shuck and those Saints guys gonna be huge for DFS for sure. And let's see. Jacob's saying YOLO, take Gibbs. No, do not take Gibbs in that deal. Devil would be QB plus. Okay, I see. Yep, plus 2 receiver. You're talking about the stacks. And Michael, you said still had one more question. I got that. Yeah, I see. Now I mean I get what you're saying, Jacob, because like if you just go off market value right now between the Gibbs trade, you can kind of twist it and say, yeah, it's not that bad. It's a bad deal. Those are 2 injured receivers that no one cares about right now, but the second they do something, people will. It's just there's no way that deal ages well. It's just terrible. Yeah. But if you win the championship with Gibbs, right? That's the only logic. That's the only logic you can ever do to making a bad deal. And again, just understanding variance, I'm not doing it. I mean, there's other ways to make your lineup better, of course. Dan's got a bunch of assets. He could always upgrade his lineup another way. Tiffany's running Dan's lineup through. Let's get it. Says your opponent has Pittsburgh defense against Lions. Interesting. Pittsburgh defense was like, someone's playing Pittsburgh defense against me versus Lions. Like hey, I mean, hope they don't change that out last second, man. Is there something? Yeah, is there something I'm missing on this Pittsburgh defense? Like, that's interesting. I can't imagine there's more than 2 people out there playing Pittsburgh D. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Tiffany, you're saying you're taking a chain over Waddle all day. I wonder, yes, agreed. I don't even know what that was. Yes, a chain over Waddle all day, maybe. I don't know if there's a single format or yeah. I mean, chain. It sucks for him. For those of you who have a chain out there, but at least the PPR scam could absolutely be there with Ewers, right? That's what we did in college. It can't be a good thing. It literally cannot be a good thing for a chain. So that sucks. Okay, Blake, you got a question. Brissett or Purdy? God, as the Brock Purdy fan club, leader of it, I'm playing Brissett over him. I'm so confident in this. I actually traded for Brissett in the Dynasty League. Having Dak and Purdy, again, I just kind of got Brissett mixed into the deal. I'm going to stack him with Trey McBride and Michael Wilson. Even if I didn't have them, I mean, the volume's just insane. But honestly, here's the thing. If we get rug pulled, we get rug pulled. That's where I'm at on Brissett when you got similar options like this. The volume's just too insane, right? The thing is it's not even a bad thing if he just stinks into the first half or the team stinks. He's going to throw the ball 60 times. I mean, they were down like 17-0 in the first quarter to the Texans. They were down 10-0 like 5 minutes in that game or less. Actually, literally a couple minutes in that game. That's the best thing that can ever happen for Brissett. So, and if they're winning, I don't know, they'll probably just sling it anyways. They don't have a run game, so or a good enough run game to take away. Yeah, I think you can go Brissett. Again, it's similar tier. And again, you can always break ties. Do you have it's 4-point? I'm not going to let that change my answer, actually. I know Purdy actually had a pretty good rushing game last week. He can get a little bit. It's not enough. Unless again, you need to kind of get a little bit of correlation, get a stack going with Kittle or something. That's where I'm playing Purdy over Brissett. Or maybe, again, does your opponent have Michael Wilson and you just need those guys to bust? Yeah, I'll point you in Brissett's direction. That's very close, though. Especially closer in 4-point. And then Jacob, you're saying with Dan about the dynasty trade. Okay, PS3 is saying Saints or Bills defense. Yeah, Tiffany, completely agree with you. Bills defense stinks. At least their run defense is terrible. Their defense isn't particularly good. Saints defense, I don't know. Can I say the Saints defense is a good? They're playing the Jets. They're playing Brady Cook. It's all about targeting these quarterbacks. Again, I was just saying earlier, Brady Cook has thrown 5 interceptions in the last 2 games. That sounds like a potential monster week for fantasy to me. I don't know about you. I'm firing up the Saints everywhere, literally everywhere. I'm pretty excited about it. If I get, I think I was doing that with Rams versus Bryce Young a few weeks back. If I get Bryce Young by Brady Cook, hey, so be it. Wasn't my week. There's some other things that can happen. If you get your defense to score 20 points, that's such a huge matchup in those redraft leagues. And then Daniel's saying, chat won't jump around on your iPhone. It will say, yeah, it doesn't do that on my iPad either. I was scrolling, and I think I just accidentally hit the blue button and didn't see it, where it brings you down to the bottom. I think that's how I originally got mixed up. And hey, thanks Tiffany, by the way, in here originally helping with, with people start sits. I love when people give their input as well, because normally I have Dan on here and we'll just disagree sometimes too, but we can at least lay out a case when we disagree for one player versus the other. And though we might not have actually pointed them into a direction, that person was able to hear a conversation, or again, hear you in chat, maybe laying your case against mine. If someone disagrees and they, can go with the reasoning they like more. I mean, I feel like that's where we might help people the most, because oftentimes Dan and I will disagree. There's so many close questions. Yeah, so very helpful. Sounds like we've been all on the same page on a lot of these, though. Let's see. Starting Carter over Genty, it's the biggest trap I ever heard. Yeah, exactly. It's just the biggest trap I ever heard. Because Carter, again, I could talk myself into Carter. Hey, he's got a better median outcome by what, 1-2 points? Like, that doesn't matter to me. Does not matter at all. Gotta go Genty. I mean, can you imagine how sick you'd be? Imagine you draft him in the first round of redraft. You're made it to the semis despite that. And you just bench Genty and he goes nuts. Like, I mean, you cannot risk that. Like, I mean, if that is not just a reason to just play Genty, then I don't know what it is beyond everything else that can happen on the field, right? You just don't want to. You would never forgive yourself for that. And okay, Jam, I think you're new here. Welcome. It says Rico or Hampton. Okay. Also Sutton or Mike Wilson. Wow, that's the first time we got asked that on Rico or Hampton. My God, that is very tough. I'm not faced with that decision anywhere. I'm just both good matchups. Both volume is solid. I'm gonna go Hampton. Dallas, that Dallas run D. I actually think Quinnen Williams, I think he's a true questionable for the game. If he's out, maybe the Chargers can just stomp the ball all over him. I feel like, again, we've seen spike games with both these guys, and of course we saw, hey, Rico Dowdle against Dallas go nuts. We haven't seen that same Rico Dowdle, since Hubbard's been back. If I had to suspect someone's actually, they just feel like similar plays this week. If someone has a bigger ceiling, I guess it feels like Hampton. Like, you just bust one, like absolutely bust one. If he's back to health, I don't know. But Panthers offense might score more. I don't know. I'm gonna. It's the Dallas defense. It's an indoor game as well, which is cool. I'll slightly lean Hampton. That's a very good one. Very tough. That might be the toughest of the night. Sutton or Michael Wilson. Good Lord. That might be the toughest one of the night, honestly. Sutton's got a phenomenal matchup against, on the perimeter. But then you just have Michael Wilson. Look, Jamal, this is what I'll say. Where are you at on Michael Wilson, like, personally? No, everyone will probably have those slightly varying answers. What do you think Marv being back on a limited potential fashion, what does that mean for Michael Wilson? If you don't think it's going to affect him, like if Marv was out, I'm playing Michael Wilson personally. If Marv was back and fully healthy, I probably could lean Sutton, but now you're in this in between. Good Lord. Yeah, I'll still give you my answer. That's the toughest one, honestly. That has to be. I'm gonna go Sutton. I don't. Phenomenal matchup. That could be a shootout, despite both defenses being pretty awesome. I mean, I don't know. The Jags aren't awesome. They're a tough run D matchup, and so is Denver. But I think they're both great plays. What I would say is there is at least the potential of Marv doing more. Like, who are they going to throw the ball to over Sutton? I mean, of course, there's Troy Franklin, who's been awesome, but I'll lean a hair Sutton. That is so tough. If you believe Michael Wilson will be unaffected by Marv, you have to go Michael Wilson, though. And then it's a trap. Jacob says, Blake, look how far we've come to you making fun of Tyler Shucks comment. That's right. Oh, man. Jacob had me mocked. Me and Joshy. Hey, shout out Jacob on this one. Had Tyler Shuck mocked exactly where he went in rookie drafts. And I saw that combine rep. I saw the breakdowns on this dude was a throwaway demon. I mean, he was throwing the ball away on 4th down in college. I don't know if he actually was, but he's been actually a really good surprise. Now I'm still not buying him in Dynasty, but I wouldn't blame people for doing it, right? He's been solid enough. And Tiffany's saying, yeah, and for tomorrow, he is a bit of a big deal for DFS, absolutely. And for Dynasty Superflex lineups, I mean, a lot of people are probably firing up Shuck, redraft Superflex as well. One QB, I don't know how many people got Shuck in their lineup. He's playable, 100%. A lot of people just are going to live have Josh Allen or someone like that or already played Hurts. Let's see. Jamal, you don't know what to do. Yeah, Jamal, those are the 2 toughest questions of the night, back to back, right there. And there's been some tough ones. Trust your gut on that, Michael. Like, do not like seriously. Don't even take anything I said like about playing. That's so tough. Follow your gut on that one. Do you think Michael? It all depends on what your confidence level is on Michael Wilson. If you're not confident in Michael Wilson, you play Sutton. Just the last thing I want to say, and something that close is point you in a direction when again it's just a complete coin flip for me. Go down, with what you believe in there. Like, I don't normally I can give you like a clear answer. Those were just so tough, man. So I wish you the best of luck. And let's see, Dan, you say okay. You're replying back. Hey, T Drinker, aka Hash, says, what the heck. These aren't the boys. Hey, look, and for everyone joining in here, hey, 19 in here, welcome. Drop likes if you're new. Drop a sub and hey, start dropping these questions. I'll be firing through them. It might take a few minutes. I apologize. Hash, yeah, Dan was replying. Zoom and all that. We've just been having issues. So, a disaster of a stream last night. We just cut it short because we couldn't even talk. It was just freezing. So now I'm just solo streaming. We're going to be back in the morning. We got our 15 likes. We'll be streaming probably about, 11 Central. I guess that's, 12 Eastern. Hit the notification button so you can see when we actually go live. Again, I know we're going to have more information in the morning. Again, Woody Marks is going to be a big one. I still think Michael Wilson could be a big one. Just can we get more information on Marv? Like, maybe I don't care about Marv himself, but for the question we just had on Michael Wilson versus Sutton, there could be information that sways that. So I do think there's going to be some important stuff in the morning for us to talk about. And let's see. So who is next? Tyler. Herbert or Shuck? Shuck. I'm avoiding all Chargers. I'm avoiding Hampton is the only Charger I'll play, dude. As long as you have reasonable options. Yeah, I'm playing Shuck. Oh, you said wait, hold on. Now you're saying okay, it's Minshew or Herbert. Okay, well, all right. I'm gonna be a coward. I'm playing Herbert. I just can't play Minshew. I know he's capable of a good game. That's where I draw the line. I'm playing Justin Herbert. I'm going down with the ship. He at least has put up some okay games. I mean, if Minshew had Rice, I think you could justify it. He doesn't even have Rice. Who knows where Kelsey's at? He's going to retire in 2 games, it looks like. So you just pray that you can get a couple touchdowns. You're just praying for 150 and 2 from Herbert. It's just been a disaster with all those injuries to the O-line. And yeah, Dan's checking. Yeah, if there is any question that got skipped, let me know. I will answer it for you. There's been so much. So appreciate everyone in here. Up to 19 likes. Really appreciate that all. And bunch of new subs. So really, really appreciate that. Hopefully we can get the Zoom thing figured out and get Dan back on here again, the co-host. One of us at least will be doing the morning stream again. Hopefully, maybe a miracle happens by the morning. We figure it out. We get both of us out here. Let's see. Herbert or Minshew has some. Yeah, Herbert, but Minshew has some amazing weapons. Minus, yeah, Mahomes. But yeah, Tiffany, sounds like you're on the same page there. No, and yeah, Tiffany, Rice is not playing, so it's just Worthy and Kelsey. Yeah, he didn't clear concussion protocol. So, yeah, that's just the dagger for me. Okay, follow up from Blake, who's been new here and awesome. Been answering a couple questions. Says follow up with the Purdy and Brissett. You have Michael Wilson. Oh, and you have Kittle and CMC too. Okay. You know what? Honestly, hearing that, yeah, I think you go Brissett there. Yeah, you go Brissett. Stack him with Michael Wilson. Again, you have the stack with Kittle, but like, let's not overinvest in that Niners game there. Again, they got Philip Rivers. Maybe they're gonna, I don't know, pound the rock. There's the ceiling with Michael Wilson and Brissett feels better. Again, Kittle and CMC can have great games. That doesn't mean Purdy, is going to have a monster one. I don't want to have 3 Niners. Like, imagine if okay, I guess they got Mac Jones. I was going to say, imagine if Purdy gets hurt. Well, that would hurt a lot with Purdy, but it wouldn't really necessarily affect Kittle or CMC like it would another team. I don't know. What if they just get stonewalled that game? It's kind of impossible for the Cardinals to get to put, like, they're just throwing it too much, and they suck. Their defense sucks. So this is actually a week where I don't know. Maybe the defense might suck a little bit less, but I don't. It stinks. So yeah, play Brissett. Yeah, that's the dagger for me on that one. And then Jacob, you were saying, yeah, there's no Rashid this week. Okay, Matt, believe you're new here. Welcome. Says Bo Nix or Joe Burrow. Wow. A lot of Joe Burrow questions. A lot of people sketched out on Burrow. Been pointing Joe Burrow every single time. What the hell do you do with Bo Nix, though? I'm gonna go. Let's get some input on the chat with this one. I would play Joe Burrow personally. It's just against Miami. He's gonna have Higgins. As long as Higgins plays, I'm playing Joe Burrow. Like, yeah, I know Bo Nix can drop 40 just like Burrow can. I don't know. I don't want that. I want that Miami matchup. Like, I mean, you gotta. Yeah, he has better weapons. He's the better quarterback. I know. Again, he's coming off a 5-point game. Ravens defense has been better than we'll give credit as of late. They're nothing amazing, but I'm going Joe Burrow personally. Yeah, Dan saying we're up to 154 subs. Appreciate everyone joining us tonight. Everyone's subbing, all the new subs. Shout out. And okay, Jacob agrees. Joe Burrow. A lot of I guess agreeing with the chat here. I'm glad we can kind of get some consensus for you guys too, just to back it up, right? I just think I don't know, slightly to Burrow again. It just feels better. I guess if you were really worried about Burrow and you really were worried about 5 points against man, that's not going to happen. No, just play Burrow. Just play Burrow. Yeah. Sergio, welcome. Says Goff or Purdy. You have Amon-Ra. Let's go Goff. Again, same realm. I'm actually going to play Goff over Dart again, 6 point in a league. I have the lead, and I would just it makes no sense. I would play Dart in a 1 quarterback over him. I have some good information on the matchup, and I'm just going to play Goff. This guy's never got hurt in his career. He can absolutely light it up just like I don't know. I'm going Goff. Like, Goff just feels like a rock solid start. And it's just as Purdy is. So you have Amon-Ra. I'm going to stack them together. They're playing in Detroit. So yeah. I can certainly approve of playing Goff here. I'm sure Dan will as well. Tyrone Tracy worth a start from PS3 tonight. Yeah, you know what? I don't know. I'm a Vikings fan. There could, again, I think there's some PPR scam potential. The Vikings leave the flats open a lot. Is it him that gets it? Is it Wandale? Is it Theo Johnson? I cannot say for sure. It kind of rotates in between these receivers, these running backs, these tight ends. What are the options, right? If you got an actual option, I think that's where we could start answering a question. I see Dan was asking or talking about it, helping you out there. Yeah, I mean, he's worth a start if you got some sketchy options. I'm not playing him though, chasing 24 points. If you got guys like Michael Wilson or something, though, that's what I would say. To give a pretty, I don't know, broad, generic answer there. But Sergio, you're saying Audric Estime or Tony Pollard in full PPR? That's going to be easy Tony Pollard, and not because I have any confidence in Tony Pollard doing anything. I couldn't even tell you. I haven't even looked into what Tony Pollard, why he is just all of a sudden turning into a league winner. What is Audric Estime going to do? I don't want him in my lineup at all. Again, I don't care if he scores. He's in a split backfield for the Saints. It doesn't matter. It was barely good enough as is having the whole backfield together. Again, I know Devin Neal was putting the performances together. He had everything. You're playing Tony Pollard. You're praying this is just a trend going into this week. Yeah, I just do not care to put Estime in over anyone that's shown me anything, basically. Caden, half PPR, welcome, says, start to Sutton, Michael Wilson. Okay, yeah, you're a Marv team. Okay, this is going to be easy for me. I'm instantly rolling out Marv. I'm unfortunately instantly ruling out Ibuka. You can't trust him. He had less route share than freaking Jalen McMillan last week. Like, that is just so sketchy. Brian Thomas is sketchy. Again, he kind of bounced back week. Wouldn't be, again, shocked. He still has a bit of a ceiling. Sutton has a phenomenal matchup. You've got to play Sutton coming off a good week. Again, I'm not playing Marv. He's hurt. I'm going with Michael Wilson and trusting. Again, Michael Wilson's going to be more of a controversial player when you got good options. If you don't trust him, don't play him. I'm going to trust it this week. I'm going to have that leap of faith. I don't think Marv's going to be too much of a threat. I've been saying all night. And Caden, you're saying Purdy or Knicks. That's where I'll lean Knicks. We just had Knicks versus Burrow. I love Purdy. Again, if you need a guaranteed 20, Purdy's just like always your dude. I mean, yeah, that could be a shootout, though, between the Jags, between the Broncos. So I think you're just good to try and chase some ceiling there with Knicks. I mean, he's been on fire. So what was it, 2 weeks ago? 34 points. He had a 40 bomb, and he had like a 40 bomb in the fourth quarter a few weeks or whatever, like in the mid-season. So I would just objectively say he has the higher ceiling. That's more what I care about there. Saints or Bills defense. Yeah, we got asked that one earlier. A lot of people wondering about this Saints defense. Fire them up. What the hell is Brady Cook going to do? Gotta go Saints. I guess the Bills, I know they have Shedeur, so I get it. I want to play against Brady Cook over Shedeur personally. So, to me, and also like the Browns, they could theoretically pound it on the run D. The Bills have an atrocious run D, so I don't know. I can't really think of a reason why the Bills would be better. I guess weather. Maybe that's something we look in the morning between Saints and Bills. I'm easily sticking Saints right now, though. Let's see. Yeah, in PS3, you were saying you got told Saints. Exactly. Yeah, same answer. It's just like easily Saints unless some information changes. Maybe like Tyrod Ramley. Brady Cook's already confirmed for the start, though. So, yeah. Tiffany said, everyone needs to watch a Darnell Washington video. Dude is a bust. He's like 6'9", 4'9", Last week took the entire... Yeah, you know what? I remember when he was coming out of college, his rookie season, he just like full-on hurdled a person. And I remember like looking at him, like, that guy's a behemoth. Can he be something for, Dynasty coming out? The funniest thing is I wonder what his 40 is now because he like almost turned into that's the one of the funniest stories. He was going to convert to a tackle, it sounded like. And Aaron Rodgers didn't want him to. So he stayed at tight end, but he's kind of like a tweener now. He's kind of like a really athletic offensive lineman, and he's just hilarious to watch. I mean, like, unironically has had a tiny bit of fantasy relevant. Do I care about him in fantasy? No, but it's kind of funny when you see him, that random Darnell Washington spike week at a tight end premium outscoring Justin Jefferson multiple weeks in a row. What a behemoth he is, indeed. I mean, is he just going to keep growing? It's like he keeps growing every week and every year. Is this guy going to be like 400 pounds and just going to be just a full-time tight end / tackle, third tackle or whatever, sixth lineman? He's probably such a huge, like, honestly, he's probably really valuable, like real life NFL terms, being a legit tackle. And, I don't know. Am I familiar enough with his actual receiving ability? No, but he is a hard dude to tackle. Good red zone threat as well. Gotta give Darnell Washington some love. And PS3 is saying go to Estime. So I was saying I don't think the Estime is there with Pollard, because here's the thing. PS3, if you're not familiar, Pollard has the more upside the last 2 weeks. What has he dropped, like a couple 20 bombs? I can't tell you why. I don't know why, and I don't know if I even have trust that happens again. I think he's just proven he's got more upside than Estime. Again, I'm like, how is Estime getting the pass catching? It's Evan Hull, who was just the GOAT in college for pass catching. Also, just the better player, I think, in Evan Hull, hilariously. Caden saying half PPR, Tyler Warren, Gadsden, Schultz. I'm going Schultz, man. I'm going Schultz. Honestly, Schultz has been pretty good. I know it's been up. I just don't trust Tyler Warren. I thought I did. Schultz is good enough to play over him, seriously. If you think Philip Rivers could I don't know, lock onto him, I guess it really just matters about a touchdown. I think Schultz is your most likely to score a touchdown there, to be honest. That's really all that matters. And yeah, PS3 was agreeing, saying Sutton and Wilson. Okay, that's good to know. Sutton and Wilson. And Schultz as well. Okay, we're on the same page there. Love Schultz, Tiffany. All right, perfect. There we go. I mean, doesn't feel good to fire up Schultz over Tyler Warren, but yeah, he does feel like the better play this year. You got to keep. Hey, again, Reiner. Hey, if you're new here, drop your question. I'll get around to it, and appreciate everyone tuning in. Been big week. Let me know if you got some. I don't know what your match is. Did you go against Puka? I know we had like Let's Get It in here, who and Essie is still in here, who I believe Let's Get It. You were the one that ran the table from like 1-7, 0-7. I believe that was you, or maybe that was another team yours that made it. I'm always getting mixed up now. Of course, so many of you, but so I had a team that made playoffs that started out 0-4, and I started like rebuilding sort of in Dynasty, and then made the playoffs. Tell me if you got any crazy story in here. Hopefully you guys didn't have Love in your lineup this week, or Mariota, rip. What are you guys facing this week? Let me know. All right. What about Knicks with Sutton? Okay, wait, hold on. Where did I leave off? Okay. It was the Schultz. Hey, a like from you, PS3. Hey, I appreciate it, man. Appreciate you coming in here. First time viewer. So you've been awesome in chat as well. Hope to see you around. Again, we'll be streaming Wednesday. Every Wednesday and Saturday we're live. We haven't missed that in a long time. Even with streaming difficulties, and sometimes I'm gone. We always get the stream going though. Sometimes it's even later that, hey, we're at like 2:24 Central. So I guess you like the late streams potentially. Maybe you're on West Coast. Rampant says, good stream as always. Hopefully catch another stream later. Hey, good night. Good luck, Rampant. Who, you were in here. a couple weeks ago for the first time, and Rampant, our first introduction was he was firing up Watson over a bunch of awesome receivers, and he had nailed it that week. And I was calling him crazy. And then the next week, we were talking about, I think maybe that was last week. We were talking, Dan and I were like, do you play Jefferson or do you play Christian Watson? I was on Jefferson, Dan was on Watson, and then Rampant came in and said he was playing Jefferson. They both put up duds, but I thought that was funny that he was like trying to jinx his matchup before the playoffs. But Rampant's been on. He's my guy for Christian Watson. If I need to know to play Christian Watson, if you need to know, you hit up Rampant. And Daniel saying, Dan's playing. You still play your PS3? Hey, BO2. What a game! Hey, do you know what the current Black Ops is, Dan? I learned this. I was at the bar. Was that whenever Black Ops came out a month ago with my friend, and we heard someone. We were talking to someone, just like randomly at the bar, and they told us Black Ops 7 came out. Like I am playing Call of Duty. Like I haven't played in the last few years because I don't care about Call of Duty anymore. I mean, I love like playing the old ones, whatever. The BO2, Black Ops 1. But I have no interest in the new ones. BO7, like that makes me feel like I'm an unk, like crazy. That's Jesus. Is anyone in here playing BO7? I can't even touch that game. I can't even think. I'm trying to forget that game exists. That makes me feel so old. PS3 to go to console. Hey, those were the days. I was an Xbox 360 guy personally. Let's get it. Says we might be cooked tomorrow, fellas. Why is that? Let's. Oh, I see a comment. Let's jump to this comment. Let's see what you were saying. Any advice on a manager at work confessing their feelings to you, knowing you have a girlfriend? Need some guy. Hey, okay. Well, hold on. Okay, let's get to that in a moment. Okay, let me run through these. If you got advice, drop it for let's get it right now. This is the first I don't know, like non. Wait, hey, I'm excited to get to this. Let's you came to the right place here. We'll get to that in a moment. Here, let me just make sure I run through these other questions here first, and then we'll get to that because that might take a moment. Dan Rock. Oh yeah, if he has 3 rocks with BO1, yeah. I mean, both those are awesome. Hazard, I think a BO1. I think a Hazard. What a map that was. Obviously, Nuketown, Hangar 18. Whew. They had some good maps on there. Wow. Tiffany says, love that people are doing the homework and live right now. Yeah, hey, subbed. Appreciate that. Yeah, people love the late night streams. We're often up here late. And I'm just shocked at how many of you are here, liking the stream, subbing, asking questions in the chat at because I guess you're probably all on West Coast. I mean, let me know. Are you on the West Coast, most of you? There might be some demons out there on the East Coast. Dan's the East Coast demon. I'm a Central demon. I'd be interested. Let's get a little poll going there where you guys are at. I'm assuming you're all West Coast. Maybe I'll be surprised. When are we going live tomorrow? PS3. I mean, you can always put on the notifications. By the way, I would actually really recommend doing that. I know everyone says that, but we kind of just go live when we go live. It's normally later. It's normally 9, 8. I would say it's no earlier than 8 Central on normal nights. But for the morning, it's going to be around 11 Central. We might be a little bit earlier. We might be a couple minutes late. You never know. But appreciate you coming in here. Hey, you say we're going. Appreciate that. Yeah, normally we have Dan on here too. I can talk to someone. There's no one I got my dog chilling back here. I could just talk to myself, but it's been a great stream. Yeah, so we hope to see you in the morning. I hope we get some news on Woody Marks. I can't remember. I don't think it was you that asked the Jawar Jordan one. Again, I'd be so down bad to be playing Jawar Jordan in a lineup league if I have other options. though he's interesting. I get it. I hope we get some information on that for the morning stream. That will be really helpful. Okay. Dan, Nixon Sutton for sure. Dan, you say you love the Broncos in general this week. Yeah, that game really feels like it could be a shootout, right? We saw what Trevor Lawrence did last week. We see what Bo Nix has been doing. I don't particularly think the Jags have a great defense, minus like they've been really good against running backs. So that could be awesome. That actually happened good though. Okay. Okay. We'll be getting that in a moment. Blake Joseph. Okay, last follow-up on the Brissett question. I have him and Lamar in a different league. Okay. You also have Michael Wilson in that league. Are you crazy for thinking? No, you're not crazy about thinking to start him over Lamar. You're not. I thought that was crazy when Lamar came back. It was something we talked about on stream. I said, there's no way I'm starting Brissett or these guys are. No, I don't think it's crazy at all. Look, I'm treating Brissett like from now on like Joe Flacco in 2023, and he's proven why. If we get rug pulled, we get rug pulled. It feels unbeatable right now to get your 20 points guaranteed or your top 12 quarterback finish, unless he gets like hurt or something, because they're just throwing it so much. So, I mean, you just need like insane variance to kick in for him to like not have a 202 game, right? I don't know. I mean, it feels like it's guaranteed until it's not. I'll say that, right? But I'm going to be trusting Brissett over some legitimate quarterbacks this week, as I have been in the past. All right, let's see. I lost a spot in chat for a second. I think I got it back here now. I love how you guys are chiming into on the let's get it. We'll get to that in a moment. Okay. Let me see if there's anybody new in chat here. I'll answer those quick first as well. 20 likes bring out the dog. Are we at 20 or at 19? I can wake up the dog, get him out here for a start sit. Yeah, Blake. Oh yeah. Let's get it. Was 0-7, made it 7-7. With a tiebreaker. And that's the league. Yeah, you had that big question between Henderson and Pickens, and it did not look good after 1 week. You fired up Henderson last week. You trusted it. You were rewarded. I hope. I mean, it's not. I hope it has aged well. Thankfully, that was a tough question at the time, though. But it felt like the right move. Hey, Tiffany, say the Dexter references. Hey, I'm on what am I, season 7 right now? Dan got me to watch Dexter. Dexter is phenomenal. I love how we're like not even talking about fantasy football like now, because Dan and I are big. We have like a film section to this channel. We're gonna make like another YouTube channel where we talk about like just movies and stuff like that. I mean, we reviewed like Whiplash and There Will Be Blood and a bunch of awesome movies. Truman Show. If that interests someone, we will be making another YouTube channel. We'll let you know when we do that. Also, by the way, everyone that's new here too, and it's not in the Discord, I guess when the stream's over, when you see us next time, I don't have it. Unless Dan, if you can get our link into the chat, maybe Dan can do that. Get in the Discord with us if you guys want to get in touch. It's pretty much brand new. There's not too many people in there, but you can be one of the first to join. Again, we can answer questions. We can be in touch off stream. Basically, right? It's kind of hard. Like we just see you guys in chat. It's good to get to know you guys. Outside of the stream as well. And hey, if anyone, I mean, we've done a Breaking Bad live stream. We're thinking about doing a Dexter one in the future. Good to see that we got some interest there. We love talking, movies, TV. Okay. Let me just make sure there's no one new here. I think that I did see someone. Okay, Doormat. Craziest start Gainwell over Pickens. No, but yes. Yes, I'm starting Pickens. You got to start Pickens. And Gainwell's been phenomenal. he's like kind of like the Colby Parkinson of running backs right now. Now, yes, he feels way more trustable because his target share has been phenomenal. Rodgers loves him. I'm starting Pickens. It's not insane. It's a little crazy. And if you want to start game all over him, hey, I'm not going to talk you out of it. I would play Pickens 1 million times out of a million, personally. But that sounds a little dramatic because, again, Gainwell's probably been outscoring him one way or another. He's getting it done, so I don't blame you. All right, let's return here. Okay, it's time. Keep the questions coming. We'll get to them in a moment. Let's get it with probably the greatest commenter of all time. Says, any advice on a manager at work? I didn't even read that. A manager at work confessing their feelings to you, knowing you have a girlfriend. Need some guidance. Hey, all right, we got some advice in the chat. That manager is crazy. Like, I mean, maybe maybe there's been some context in here too. First off, yeah, like, between your girlfriend, how does this even happen, right? I mean, I'm sure, you got the work chatting, you're bored, start yapping or something. I don't know. I don't want to give you any advice without knowing any more about the situation in the text context. Like, I don't know your girlfriend or whatever. I mean, I would say the pretty safe answer is kind of what Tiffany said, and have your girlfriend like bring in lunch when she's there. Like, I don't know, where are you at? Because I don't know, maybe there's no reason for you to be dating your girlfriend. I have no idea where you're at on that. But maybe you have no interest in this manager or not. I have no idea where you're at between if you have interest or not. That would be very helpful. Maybe, yeah, talking it through. One thing with this, it can go to anything in life, but especially even just like in fantasy as a great kind of analogy. Or sometimes when you're talking through a start sit or something, I love referring back to fantasy over this question, but sometimes when you're talking about fantasy, if you're kind of unsure where you're at, it's like sometimes I'm answering a question about, okay, like I would start this guy. I'm like, no, that's not how I would not start that guy. I don't know. Of course, talking things through always helps with where you're at. Let's see what else you're saying. Let's get it. If you got some other, I don't know. Is there any other context we can help you with? I'm gonna let the chat do its thing on there, right? They're saying, good idea. Yeah, because I think it's, yeah, okay. Get way off the chest. Yeah, because there's so many different ways that you could interpret that situation. Because, like, again, you might be interested, you might not be. Like, yeah, things might be shaky with the girlfriend. They might be rock solid. I don't know. That changes everything, right? Because you don't want to be, of course, hurting your girlfriend. But it's a manager at work. You don't want to mess that up because you'll be cooked at work, probably. There is certainly a way to get out of that. There's always a way. Tread lightly, my friend. You're in dangerous waters. We'll need an update too. We'll need an update on Wednesday or something. I'm sure you'll have a couple days to figure that out. My God. Good luck. No. Okay, we got some more. Yeah, that's right. Great tight end on Back to Football. They were trying to turn him into defensive end. I thought they were trying to turn him into tackle, maybe both. Is that how far back I'm on chat? That's right. I did rewind on chat there. Okay, you were saying Estime PS3 has more upside because Jets run defense. Yeah, I mean, like I get it in theory. It's a split back. I just don't trust the Saints. And one of them could have a good game. I don't know who is going to be. Like, I would actually say it's Evan Hull is the one that you want. That's you ultra coping. Hey, fair enough. That's a guy that started Audric Estime tonight or tomorrow, if I ever heard it. Midwest on PS3, so you're a Central guy probably then. I guess there could be Mountain Time though as well. I always forget that exists. That's not like a, I don't know how much portion of the population is in Mountain. I'm in Canada. I mean, a lot of people, a lot of new viewers in here probably don't know. Dan's in America, like most of you probably are. I'm a Canadian guy. So let's see. Best stream ever. Best streamer. Dan's only in the chat. I mean, that's funny and sad at the same time. It's too bad you couldn't be on here. We've had so many. It seems like every new stream we do, it's the best stream ever. So plenty of great to come, and hopefully we just get this figured out. I mean, my God. Honestly, when we started it, like we just been so frustrated about when I started solo. We had a terrible stream yesterday. We just had to cut it right away. Couldn't even have a conversation without it bugging out. I didn't know if we were gonna have a good stream tonight, but it's been phenomenal. So appreciate everyone. And yeah, PS3, you're an Indy. I'm assuming you're a Colts fan. Pickens is picking his nose. Not sure what happened. So I saw that picking his nose. Let's Get It was raised in an Indy. Yeah, I'm in Winnipeg, in Canada. So that's like, for people that don't know, it's just literally right above the North Dakota border. It's like I could just take like 2 turns and I can just like drive to Minnesota basically. It'll be 8 hours, but it's like 2 turns literally, maybe 3. Pretty. I've went to a few. I'm a Vikings fan, so I've been to. Drove to quite a few games. They normally go to one a year. I didn't go this year though. Actually, I'm not sure why. I just didn't end up getting out to one. But seen some good games there. Always fun to kind of drive down. Used to be neighbors, almost neighbors. You guys, okay? Used to be in Chicago. PS3. And you moved for work. Okay. Edson, we're still going. We get this comment every time. It's always Jacob, though. He's like, I got to tell that story again. I got to tell the story every time someone says this, but he's just still going. Had to take Pops. Oh, man. Oh, I hope your Pop's all right. I hope it's nothing, maybe a little more of a routine thing than not, hopefully. We're still going strong, though. So it's been a great stream. And Edson, you've been here when I told the story, but we got a bunch of new people in here. But one time I had like a 5-hour stream. Like, okay, Dan left the stream. I kept it going. I'm like, yeah, I'll keep it going 20 minutes. I kept this thing going for like 5 hours. I think Dan actually jumped back on the stream like hours later. And then he like jumped off, and then I still finished it. It was an insane stream. Jacob, who was in here earlier, he said his like girlfriend from out of town like had visited. So he went to like the movies. Like he was in the stream at the beginning. He went to the movies. He went for dinner. I swear he said like he took a shower. He was just like adding a bunch of stuff. Like I, trimmed my nails and took my dog on a walk and like, made a sandwich. Like, and then we were still live when he came back. I mean, it was, that's just Dynasty Savvy in a nutshell. We never stop. We're always at 2:30 in. But hey, we got some important questions here. I mean, even more important than fantasy. Let's get it here is asking the real questions tonight. But yeah, been a great stream, everyone. Again, can't keep saying it enough. 20 likes. We got to get the dog out here. Good Lord. Okay, I'll get the dog out in a minute. I can't. He just looks too cute. He's like curl up in a ball. I'll give him a minute to start moving around or something before I pick him up. Guy's probably in REM sleep right now or something. Okay, Prism. Believe you're new, Prism. Welcome. It says Pitts, Strange, or Andrews at tight end. You got to go Pitts. It's just that simple. Andrews and Strange have done nothing. If Pitts does nothing, well, you're probably no worse off than those other two. How can you sit a guy coming? I know London's back. How can you sit a guy that just put up the greatest tight end performance in history. Just that simple. You said you just need to hear it from someone else. Yeah. It doesn't even, honestly, just throw anything else out the window. Just play Pitts. Don't overthink it. Hope for the best. Hope it's the right decision. That's just one of those ones I don't need to even reason. Gotta play him. PS3's playing saying strange though. I mean, yeah, I mean, I get it with London coming. I'm just not. Just imagine Pitts goes nuts. Like, here's the thing: Strange had been a solid play, but he's just done nothing. I can't. I'm going down with the ship on Pitts, but I get it if you want to try and project it. I don't know, and I am scared, by the way, of London coming back and Pitts. But again, this London doesn't sound like he's 100%. There is some evidence that Pitts has just been getting used differently, anyways. Even from when London was active. So I'm gonna hope for the best there. Give you that nudge that you need. Caden says, should you drop Tyler Warren for Schultz? Your other option is to drop Breece. Yeah, you're not dropping Breece. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why you should. Honestly, this is what I would say. I mean, this is like a legitimate strategy. I know it doesn't sound like one. And it's not going to work guaranteed at all, but it's possible. What if you just drop Tyler Warren, and maybe I guess it's too late, but maybe in the finals, someone just needs a tight end that you're playing, and they pick up Tyler Warren and they put him 3 points. I don't know. I mean, hey, I kind of don't hate that strategy. If you could try and tempt them to play the name, maybe they're just down bad at tight end. I don't know. Maybe they probably have Trey McBride or something, but I think you're probably good. I mean, you could say you could just drop Marvin Harrison because he's hurt. It doesn't matter to me. I mean, I think Marvin Harrison could be a good trap as well for an opponent. Maybe they just for some reason want to play Marvin if they need him. Yeah, I think you're good though. If you need to drop someone, just do it. Get Schultz this week. Hope for the best. Hope you don't get rug pulled like Parkinson. And PS3, yeah, you're saying that you've heard it. Now, was it Dexter that you were saying the best show of all time? I got some thoughts on Dexter. Yeah, because I've been watching it. Or are you talking about The Wire? Okay, I see that others mentioned The Wire. Anyways, what I'll say is there's no way Dexter's the best show of all time. It's really good though, but season to season for me has been it's been a roller coaster. The first 2 seasons are phenomenal. Especially the second season. That was my favorite one. I think second and the 4th season were so good. And then you just have season 3, and it's I think season 6 I just hated. I don't know. There's a lot, especially just being someone that really likes TV and everything in film. There's actually a lot that in Dexter I've been noticing that I would do differently. Normally when I see that, that's not a great sign, but they do a lot well. They do a lot well, even with some of the bad or just some of the missed opportunities. So that's my Dexter take. It is very good. It shouldn't have. I think the big issue with that Dexter is it shouldn't have went 8 seasons. It should have went 4 or 5. You can only kill. You can only stick a needle in someone's neck and stab them in the heart so many times. Now, I am really interested to get to the reboot because I heard it's really good. Dan was telling me that. I am actually really excited to see that. I feel like there's some potential there. And The Wire, I have not seen that yet. I think I actually was watching the beginning of it, but then the issue is I never got into it because I don't have it on the streaming website. So I have to go to a pirating website, and then I gotta track it down and then remember to watch it, remember where I was it, and then you fall asleep. You guys know how it is if you kind of are using the same website strategy. I don't even know, because you can't just watch The Wire on Netflix, at least not in Canada. But yeah, I hear it's up there with Breaking Bad and The Sopranos. I'm not done The Sopranos yet, but The Sopranos is awesome. And then there's so many parallels to Breaking Bad there in the shots and just in the story. And in fact, I ended up looking it up, and yeah, sure enough, Vince Gilligan got a lot of inspiration from for Breaking Bad off The Sopranos, which makes a lot of sense. And this guy said, Dan, a manager boxing you in like me, worse than Marvin Harrison's injuries. The writing on The Wire is incredible. Season 2 is a little slow, but everything else is gold. Okay. Hey, you've got me sold to look back into it. The issue is I haven't had any time to be watching, especially with streaming. I don't have any time to like watch many shows. I just started, however, because I just wrote my last exam. Welcome to Derry, like the HBO, like It prequel. I've been seeing a couple things. I didn't think it would be something I'm like too interested in. However, I'm very intrigued. And I watched the first episode. I thought it was pretty good. So yeah, I am gonna be checking that out. I'll probably just binge that, honestly, like Monday or something. I don't know. That Stephen King universe is interesting enough for me. Edson, you said if you like having relations with anyone at work, just know you ain't taking that job seriously. How we feeling about Mumfield? That's right. Wasn't Dan saying Mumfield spotting? Yeah, Mumfield had a good game. I think you called it, Edson. And he put me and Dan's boy Jordan Whittington, I guess, in the grave. You know, that was our guy last year. Sad to see, but Mumfield's got to be the new dude there. He did look good. He actually like caught that one football. I got knocked out, I think, really well. It was like a big deep shot at one point in that game. Blake, knowing you're Canadian, just I don't know. Come on. No Canadian hate here. I'm practically, come on, I'm on the border. Nah, proud Canadian. We made the right decision to solo stream. Yeah, it's just so much better. Like I can't. You can go see what the stream was like last night if you guys want. After it was off. We couldn't even hear each other. It was just freezing. You can't have that. So yeah, good to have a solo stream. Heck, you know what? Like maybe in the morning. See, it sucks because then we got on a roll and stuff. And then I was gonna say like maybe we could try to start for like 10, and then we could like if we have to solo it, one of us can come on for an hour, and then one can go on the next one. We'll see. Hopefully we can just both be there. Hopefully we have it fixed. Favorite NHL team? This is actually a tougher question to answer. Okay, my real answer is the Ottawa Senators. I've just always been an Ottawa Senators fan. However, I now live in Winnipeg. The Senators have been trashed. Here's the thing. Not only have the Senators been trashed for a decade, I also just don't even really watch hockey. So the only hockey I really watch is just playoff hockey. And the Sens don't make the playoffs ever, except for last year. They hadn't made it since 2017. And well, guess what? The Jets have been amazing. So they're in different conferences. I understand now when people have like two favorite NFL teams. Like I'm just a strict Vikings fan, but I get it because I live here. I go to the playoff games. I've been to some really good games. I went to like the game 7 that got tied with like a 1 second left last year. I like literally like bruised my ribs celebrating with my friends on that goal. So yeah, Sens converted Jets. Yeah. Hockey's fun. I need to watch more hockey. I grew up playing and everything. Football is just, it's enough sports. It goes on at the same time. It really prevents me from watching other stuff. Jacob's backing up my story. He had went up for a whole night and I was still going. It was just so funny. Like I know he just said like 3 things that he did, but every time I tell the story, there's like a new thing added. It's like, yeah, no, he was taking his dog on the walk. Yeah, no, that was good. It's like a 5-hour stream. Gonna toss this out here. Manager at the end of the day, she's your boss. Yeah, I mean, you know, I mean, it might be different than that, right? I mean, you know, if you're in a bad, awkward situation, yeah, that's tough. That's very tough, especially just the manager part. That's the nail in the coffin there. If Pitt scores another 40 points, you're deleting your league for everyone. Yeah. Hey, rip everyone that played Pitts last week. I got such a good dynasty team eliminated by Pitts, man. Oh, that was terrible. one stream. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, Jake and I streamed for like I don't know. We might have been at 5 hours again on that one. Maybe we did get to 6. We've had some long streams around here. Tiff can compromise. And hey, I'm loving it because again, we normally we get new viewers and we have get like Edson and Michael and we haven't seen the Hall tonight. We get a lot of Let's Get It. We get a lot of the same kind of people, but we got a lot of you PS3 and Tiffany. There was another Blake in here. Many new faces in here. Awesome to see. Everyone new in chat here. Again, it would be awesome if you guys just join the Discord again, because you might not be able to catch our streams or whatever. Keep in contact. I also just love to know how people's like matchups are going when we're sweating out, Monday Night Football and stuff. As the Discord grows, it'll get more active and Okay, where are we at? Ask your girlfriend first. Dangerous waters. That's right. Yeah, tread lightly. How is the devil's lettuce up north? I'm not too into it, but occasionally. I don't even think I've ever I don't think I've ever purchased any because it's just, you can. It's legal. But when I'm hammered, that's the answer. And I don't even know what I don't even know what strain. I wish I could tell you. But where are you at? Because it's illegal everywhere here. First, I don't know the states. Right? Is it? I don't think it's legalized in every places, right? I mean, I know like what is it? Not Denver, but Colorado. Is that not one of the ones? I don't know. I'm not educated on my American legalization, but it was recently. I don't know, maybe like 5-6 years ago, legalized here. But trash actually is the answer. When you're wondering, trash is the answer of the quality from the government. You like Fannin for tight end? Yes, Fannin is a baller. Fannin is an absolute baller. Parkinson was a disaster, correct? I'm starting Fannin in multiple flexes. Edson, no, maybe it was Michael Hart that has McBride and Fannin. I got that in the league too. I wish I didn't drop Loveland because I had too many tight ends. I needed to start picking other stuff up. I wish I could have started Loveland. I don't think he even had that good of a game. He got a little bit of stuff in the end, but I was loving the rookie tight ends in redraft this year. Obviously, Dynasty as well. Dan, you a dad? Is that a kid? Don't believe Dan is a dad. Unless I don't know. I mean, never know what Dan's doing out there in the streets. He's a dangerous weapon. Edson, you guys, the G-Note is the perfect battle clip of him. Anything goes wrong, blame it on him. Yeah, I mean, we coined the Geno term here. When you get, Geno Smith is on your bench. He puts up 30 points to start him the next week. He gives you -2. That's getting Geno'd. Bryce Young is the same thing. There's a few Geno. I mean, Bryce Young almost should be getting Bryced. Sopranos is a must binge. Tiffany says. Yeah, the reason I'm not done The Sopranos is it's just I can't. If it was on Netflix, I would have instantly finished it. It is very difficult to like binge a TV show when you have to like legally stream it because I'm not tracking down and having 100 whatever like website streaming service things there. So not paying for all that. Screw that. Edson says no kids, but low-key thinking of it in the years to come. Girl go back and forth. Interesting. I don't know. How old are you too, by that way, Edson? Let's see. That's right. Dan's just saying, just do it anyways. You'll have regret either way. That's true. That's good advice. You will. Hey, you'll probably have some. Here's the thing: you might have regret either way, but there's one thing for certain: you definitely will have regret if you don't do it. So, I mean, if that makes any sense, that makes so much sense. But maybe technically not. I think that makes a lot of sense. Maybe something to put. Hey, we're not giving you start sit decisions. We're giving you life decisions here too. Do we start the kid or no? Do we or do we sit him? We're starting the child. We gotta get someone else. Are we starting? Start the child? Yeah. Gonna need 5 from you, this chief. Sustainable is 2.1 per female. Okay, let's get it. It says Blake, you're basically going up against Puka at work. There's an analogy there. That's a good translation. You're basically going up against Puka at work, and you just started Jordan Love and Josh Jacobs stacked. Hey, you can get out of this. You know, you're firing up Michael Wilson. You hate being sober. That's like Chief Keef. I hope that's a Chief Keef reference. If you had a ranch, you just sound like Philip Rivers. I haven't even finished the comment, Edson. You're basically saying you'd be Philip Rivers. If you had a ranch, you'd have 10 kids. Unfortunately, not the case. The Sopranos would approve of all the things streaming illegally. Hell yeah! I just saw something too about, it was like, I don't know, some clip. I don't even know what it is, on Twitter or something, of like real like mobsters that were like, I don't know, they're like bugged or something like that in like just in, I don't know, New York or New Jersey there or something, and they were saying like they were approving. They had no idea they were obviously like bugged or whatever. They were approving of like how realistic it was, whatever. They're like comping it to someone they knew or like some character. It was pretty funny to see, but yeah, very good first season as well, is what I'll say. And again, reminding a lot of Breaking Bad. Just there's certain characters, and again, so just certain little shots or maybe like plot points. Again, it's a completely different story, but I was seeing the resemblance, and I wasn't surprised at all when Vince Gilligan got some inspiration there, of course, from The Sopranos. We're big Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul fans on this on here. Like honestly, we could do, I guess not the channel, but when we get the film, like we could do entire like series or season breakdowns on Rick. I love Breaking Bad. And Better Call Saul is like even more impressive, like what they did with that world. It is so hard to make a prequel and just absolutely knock it out of the park like they did. I just wish there was more. I wish there was more, but if there was more, then you run into the Dexter issue is the thing. By the way, Pluribus, we have not talked about that here. Is anyone watching Pluribus? Again, we're like getting out of fantasy territory. If people have, if someone new in here, if we got any fantasy, keep them coming. We'll keep answering them. Has anybody watched Pluribus? Which I've also been illegally streaming. Actually, that is one thing I've been able to watch because too much respect for Vince Gilligan. Gotta watch it. Very interesting show. I will say, I'm not disappointed. It's been awesome. It's just been very odd so far. Like, it might be one of those shows where it's like, it's better when you can watch like multiple seasons all at once. The first season, we're getting the direction. It feels like a few directionless episodes, and now everything's kind of coming together. It's been good. It's been very good. It's been pretty unique, this series, I would say. I don't know. It's got a little bit of Severance vibes, though. The plot's nothing the same. And again, Dan, you need to watch Severance. I hope we got some Severance viewers in here. Severance is so good. So good. If you've never heard of it, get out from under your rock. So good. And there's yeah, Severance does it right. There's just so much you can analyze, and like you keep rewatching it. Love it. Really good cinematography as well. Nice, being sober is awesome. Chief Keef. Sopranos the best show. Why do you think your pick is Ralph? That's so funny. I was with the profile pictures are so small on the iPad that I can rarely even make out what they are. I didn't even notice that. That's hilarious. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the thing. We definitely got to do a review on Dexter. I got a lot of thoughts. I've slowed down. That's the thing. I just didn't like season 6. Season 7 is at a very interesting point now. And I was doing all my exams and everything, which doesn't help. But like, I've gotten like unhooked from how awesome Dexter was. I need to get just power through it. I think the season will be much better from how it's going. Okay, Jacob said you watched the first episode of Pluribus and didn't like her acting. I may watch more. Here's the thing. I don't think you're like in the minority about, because I share the same thing. Here's the thing. It's not her acting. She's doing too good of acting because she is. It's one of those things too where you can just tell they're trying to make I don't even figure her name in there, but Ray Seahorn's character the most unlikable person ever. And miserable. Now things start to get a little bit better episode by episode, but the one thing I can really appreciate too with what her character is, like, for the most part, she acts and talks as if someone, especially, I don't know, with her personality would, there's just things it's like exactly what you're thinking. In the end of the first episode is like, what the hell is happening? Just, I don't know, some absurdity. It's such an interesting concept, like that. I don't know. It's such an interesting concept for a show because there's like no characters. There's just her and like them. And if you don't watch the show, you don't even know what that means. So, and then of course there's the others. I don't know. I'm not trying to like spoil anything. If anyone hasn't watched, it's not really spoiling it, but I trust Vince Gilligan's gonna wrap this all together. It's been very unique, is what I'll say, and it's been enjoyable to watch. Yeah, it just feels a little slow, like not knowing where we're going on this journey, is what I'll say. Did anyone watch Adolescence on Netflix? I haven't. I heard that's every episode's in like one take. Sounds really interesting. I saw it won some awards. I got to check that out. Also been mentioned yet, but Game of Thrones is still your greatest show. Everyone says the last season's terrible. I tried watching it. I didn't have like the translation on my legal streaming episode of that language. So there was just so much going on. I couldn't even, what am I going to do? Speak? I don't know the language. It's some made up language. Like I have no idea what was being said. So I had to stop watching it. I also will say I'm not like too much into that. Just like, I don't know, like fantasy thing. Like I get the appeal though. Like I want to be interested in it. Like I'm not really into Lord of the Rings, if that makes sense. Like to me, Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones are kind of that same exact realm. It's just not something that particularly interests me, though I want to watch it. I want to be into the Lord of the Rings too. I tried watching them. I don't know. They're good, but they also just don't interest me. It keeps popping up on Fire TV saying it's number 1. What were you saying for that? Oops. Tiffany, what show was that? Oh, Adolescence. That's right. And Severance. Yeah, you gotta watch that. Severance is you got like, my God. Severance. I mean, I think it's anyone that's watched it will tell you like it will not disappoint. There is something to Severance that's just so fresh and well done. And again, it kind of puts you in this world. I don't know how to explain it. Like it just does something to you. Like man, I really don't even know how to articulate it. It's honestly impacted me. Like I would nonstop whistle the Severance theme. The Severance theme is an absolute banger. You cannot stop. It just lives in me. I cannot stop thinking about Severance. Even like I don't know what is it. We're probably like a year after, close to a year after the season finale. I just love it. I yeah, I got lucky. I only started watching it right as season 2 came out, so I got to just completely rip through season 1 and 2, and I have to wait, which sucks. But that is my, if I haven't sold you on Severance, I don't even want to tell you what it's about because just watch it. It's so damn good, and they just do it so well. What I'll say is like, it's one of those shows where like you don't exactly know like what is going on. They keep giving you hints throughout it, but they give you just enough at the right time always. And it's just one where you can like truly, as you're watching it too, as we're in the season, it's one of those shows everyone can speculate on, everyone can have their theory. Phenomenal show. Also, The Boys is amazing. You know what? I watched the first 3 seasons of The Boys. I really enjoyed it. Whatever season just came out, I was, or maybe the one before. I don't know how many seasons are there now, 4 or 5. I was just trying to watch. It went from, I don't know. To me, it went from like a show that, I mean, from the first scene, you see what The Boys is going to be about, and keep you on your toes, and just be like a really good change up on like kind of like a satire superhero show. But then it just felt like it got predictable. Maybe I don't know. I kind of lost interest, to be honest. Though I agree, like the first few seasons were awesome. Let's see. Philip Rivers' life seems like a dream. That's right. Hey, maybe when you're 44 too, you're coming out of retirement again. Just like, can't tell me there's a better life than a few livestock, property with a horse, some dogs, and kids running around. Yeah, hey, that sounds pretty damn good. And a full, what is he? He has a full football field. On top of that, add that in. Now we're talking. Now you're fascinated about the show, Tiffany. Are you talking about what show are you talking about, Tiffany? Which show are you fascinated about? From what? First episode of Adolescence is slow at times, but gets better as it goes along. Only 4 episodes. You recommend? Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to check that out. Like, your perception of Game of Thrones is wrong. You will be annoyed with long DM for why you got. All right, sell me. No, seriously, sell me. Like, I want to watch it. The thing is like, if I'm gonna watch it, I need to know what they're saying on this language. They speak it so much. Like, it's like a whole episode, I swear, on it in the first season, or just like half an episode on it. Like, yeah, I can kind of imply what's going on based on what's everything nonverbal, or just being able to, I don't know. It was just unwatchable though without it. So we got to review Adolescence. All right, we'll certainly do that. Sleeper show is True Detective season 1. Yes, I just watched that in the last year. True Detective season 1. I'm not gonna bother watching the other ones. I know that they're not. They live it up. I'm not even gonna give them a chance. True Detective season 1 is a banger. Really, really good. Yes, and rewatch is the best. Yeah, I gotta rewatch it. Absolutely. That's one I'll know when the time's right to rewatch that one. Really enjoyed that one. The next movie, yeah, is Into the Wild. Yeah, we got to do that right when we get the channel fired up, as I've already watched that. Yeah, enjoyed that. And that was a different. That was one of the more different movies I've seen. Right? I mean, again, based on a true story. Oh, are we back?